'Tis the season for state championship high school football. The pursuit of the 4 North Carolina titles begins with the biggest schools in the state on the biggest stage. The NCHSAA state championships broadcast presented by Tatum and Atkinson, the heavy hitters. It's the 4A title game. The top seed out of the West, unbeaten Grimsley, locking up with the 5 seed from the East, the 14-1 Rolesville Rams. Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to championship football. Patrick Keenis alongside former ECU standout Jay Sonhalter. It feels like football. 44 degrees, rain has just started to fall, but for the players, the staff, they don't know it's raining because this is a dream opportunity.
Well, they've been waiting for this ball game all season long. This goes back to the offseason. Both teams had a lot of motivation going into this year. Both sides played each other early this year. They were on track to make it to this game. It's all going to be about tonight. Which team can execute at the highest level?
All right, well, let's take a look at some of the key players we'll see, because this field will be covered with rain, but also covered by 4- and 5-star college prospects.
Well, you have potential college prospects and NFL prospects in this ball game. Starting on Grimsley's side, it all starts with their running back. What they can do on the ground with Mitchell Summers has been their catalyst this season. He averages over 8.5 yards per carry, 2,200 yards and counting on the season. He's had an amazing career, and at the defensive line position with Bryce Davis, he creates havoc. He's signed with Duke at the next level. You'll see his name in the ACC play. He's going to be a star in the making, and tonight he's going to try to slow down the passing attack for Rolesville. Over on the other side for the Rams, Braden Atkinson, 50 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. He signed with Mercer, one of the top programs in FCS. He's been a leader for this program and does a really good job, Patrick, reading coverage and making good decisions. Xavier Lewis, right in the middle of the defensive line for Rolesville. He's the guy that gets that push up the middle, gets after the quarterback, and he's outstanding in run support. He's going to have to slow down Summers tonight.
All right, Jay, these programs did not meet ever until last year. They met in week 2 this year. Let's get to the keys to the game tonight. The Ingles food for thought. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Well, for the Whirlies, it's about positive plays on offense, staying ahead of the chains and moving forward, not giving up any sacks and keeping it moving on offense. Then on defense, keep everything in front. This is an explosive offense they'll be facing tonight. Their safeties have to tackle well, keep it in front. For the Rams, play a complete ball game. 4 quarters. They want to be consistent throughout this ball game, and then winning the turnover battle. They want their defense to really get after it tonight, create turnovers, and slow down this offense.
Right. A lot can change from week 2 in the regular season to now a couple of days before Christmas. These 2 squads met in week 2 this year. It's an oddity within the state. With more on that matchup and what it means for tonight, 3rd member of our crew, Madison Little.
Well, Rolesville comes into this one with only 1 loss on the season. That loss back in week 2 to none other than the Grimsley Whirlies. But Coach Rackley told me this team that we're seeing tonight is not the same team we saw back in week 2. That game was determined by minute mistakes, and this team now, well, they're more confident in their game plan. They're more confident in their quarterback, and most of all, they're more hungry. And the Whirlies coach, well, he knows that. Daryl Brown told me his team is not letting that week 2 win get to their heads. They're coming into this one locked in, because he says any team that is playing football this weekend is worthy of a state championship. We'll be back with the NCHSAA State Championship 4A title game right after this.
It is a night of memories, and one of those memories just occurred a couple of moments ago. Number 76 for the Rolesville Rams, right there walking off the field. That is center Gavin Marks, who has been the starting center, Jay, since his freshman year. After week 10 this season, he went to the hospital, was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer. He's being treated right now. His scheduled day to actually have a treatment today, delayed until Monday so he could be with his team. He won't play tonight, but he's walking out there as part of the captains. One of the most unbelievable stories we'll see in the state.
Well, we've gotten to know Gavin, just an amazing kid. And Gavin, we're praying for you, proud of you, and you're an inspiration to all of us.
And there he is as we get ready for the coin toss. Rolesville and the Grimsley Whirlies, Jay. And it's very unusual in this state to have teams not from opposite ends of the state. They're not separated by more than about 100 miles or so, but 2 power teams from opposite regions play a regular season game. They did it last year. They did it again this year, but really no surprise. They're meeting here for the title.
Well, and they scheduled that game because they want to get ready for the playoffs, for a possible state championship berth. And earlier on this year, It was an excellent ball game, two highly talented teams, excellent coaching staffs, and now you get to this point, the final game of the year, everything that you've been working for, and you're going against a great opponent on each side.
Here's Daryl Brown, ninth-year head coach for the Whirlies, 15-0. They won their only state title as Grimsley back in the COVID-shortened season of 2020 to 2021 when they knocked off Cardinal Gibbons. Meanwhile, for the Rolesville Rams, led by Rainer Rackley, who was elevated to the head coaching job after a national search from right in their backyard. He was the JV head coach. Got the job a couple of years ago. In his 2 years, Jay, 26-3, trying to lead Rolesville to its first ever state football championship.
And talking with both coaches earlier this week, they have so much respect for the program that each coach is running, and they're excited about this opportunity. They definitely understand the test that's in front of them in order to get the state championship. But what a better way to kick it off here. It's football weather here at Keenan Stadium, and just an awesome atmosphere.
We were down on the field about an hour and 10 minutes before kickoff. The rain was just lightly approaching us. It's coming down, it's swirling. The temperatures have dropped to a state football championship acceptable level, 43 degrees, and we are ready to go. The Roan Law kickoff. At Roan Law, we fight and have the verdicts to prove it. The unbeaten top seed out of the West, Grimsley Whirlies, 15-0. The once beaten 5 seed out of the East, the Rolesville Rams, in the black, and the Rams will return the kick and take it to about the 20-yard line, and that's where this opening drive will begin. That's Jonathan Dunn on the return. So let's talk about the Rolesville Rams, Jay. They have played a murderous schedule, but you get to the postseason. They had to go on the road the last 3 rounds to knock off better seeds, and Braden Atkinson and the Rams have come through, and here they are playing for the title.
Well, this is a highly talented group, and they are led by Atkinson and this strong senior class.
Atkinson, 50 touchdowns through the air. He's thrown for over 3,600 yards. His top back is number 0, Devin Thomas. And the Rams will begin this opening drive at the 20-yard line, and they will hand off on the ground. A good gain for about 8 or 9 yards on the opening carry. Let's get to the starting lineups presented by Tatum and Atkinson. Injured in a car wreck, all the heavy hitters.
It starts with Atkinson and then Thomas running the football. As a college prospect, and Roberts, Alfred, Waddell on the outside are explosive. McHugh's good in the passing game and run blocking. Pooley, Hemmelwright, Lamada, Brown, and Midget set the pace up front.
Grimsley won the game in week 2, 35-20, but I talked with a couple of Rams on the field a little while ago about the game. Low snap and diving on it to maintain possession is Atkinson, and that's a microcosm of the problems that they had against Grimsley back in week 2. Just some minor mistakes that were costly, like this one here.
And ball handling tonight with the weather will be key, because it's wet down on the field, and for these players, they got to make sure they secure the ball.
So a loss of about 7 on that low snap. 3rd down, and we'll call it 7 here for the Rams. That's Jaden Alford, number 17, in motion. They set trips to the top of the screen. Clap of the hands by Atkinson. He will feed out to the strong side. Might have been tipped, undershot anyway, and it's incomplete. And a 3-and-out force by the Grimsley Whirly defense.
Bryce Davis, number 12 on the defensive line. He's the one that gets the pressure. See him on the left side of the screen, beat the block, and does get his right hand on it to knock it down. And key job by the defense getting off the field. Daryl Brown has to be pleased with his defense's effort on the first drive.
Special teams for the Whirlies has been otherworldly, and back to return is Kyan Battle, number 5. And this boot will go with basically no wind. Picked up on a couple of hops by Battle. A dangerous moment, but he does net a return of about 5 yards. Well, the Grimsley Whirlies, the top seed out of the West, and as dominant as this program has been the last few years. As a matter of fact, in their last 81 games, Jay, they are 77-4, but lost in the West Regional Final last year to Weddington. Weddington went on to win the title last week. Grimsley took down Weddington. But no surprise that they are here, and frankly, a lot of juniors, especially on the offensive skill set this year for the Whirlies. So we could see them back again next year. There's a look at the head coach, Daryl Brown. Faison Brandon, the #1 national high school football prospect in the 2026 class. He is the quarterback, and they go on the ground. A first down carry out close to midfield. It's Mitchell Summers on the opening carry as we took a look at the Tatum and Atkinson starting lineups. Tatum and Atkinson injured in a car wreck, called the heavy hitters.
Brandon's amazing throwing the ball. Summers, 3 years of over 2,000 yards on the ground. Great career. Cato, Battle, Carter, Howerton, really good on the outside. And then Norwood, Johnson, Weston, Bunch, Kashubara are big up front. They're athletic getting to the second level.
Now a handoff strung out and charging forward. Look at those legs continuing to maneuver, and that is Summers, who on the extra effort will pick up the first down in midfield. He is a tough ball carrier, over 2,200 on the ground this year. Here are the defensive starters for Rolesville, brought to you by Tatum and Atkinson.
Jaden Fry is going to Boston College. Xavier Lewis, Austin P. There's Harrison, one of the top junior rushers in the country. Griffin Haynes, Fleet, Griffin Haynes, and Watkins at the linebacker position, and then the secondary is very athletic.
Here's the first toss by Brandon, swings it to the right side, a 1v1 tackle, nicely turned in by Javon Wright, number 13, limited yardage for Battle.
Javon Wright in the back end, it's a sure tackler. It wraps up, brings him down, has a nose for the ball.
Gain of 2. Opening drive for the unbeaten Whirlies. 4th appearance in a state title game. And on 2nd and 8, quick toss to the right side. And one more time, it is Mitchell Summers. And Summers will bring up 3rd and short. Now in these situations, it is almost always 4-down territory for the Whirly offense. It could be 4th and 5, 4th and 7. With all the elements they have offensively, Jay, they will rarely send a punter on the field.
And Summers averages over 8.5 yards per carry. So there's a lot of confidence in him running the ball, going behind this big offensive line.
All right, 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen, 3rd and 2. And this is Brandon looking for him around the edge, and he tries to get away. Still again punishing a defender forward. Looked like he was about to be thrown back for a loss, but unable to be contained. As say, look, DJ, it's like it was Devin Thomas who had him wrapped up in the backfield but lost him. And it is a first down for the Whirlies. 2 extra effort carries, one by the quarterback, one by Summers. Brandon on the give, stumbling through and popping quickly forward for another 8 is Summers.
And the ability to run the football is so important for the Whirlies, because if you can run it, that'll set up the play-action pass for Brandon, throwing the ball over the top. He's so accurate, has the elite level of arm strength, throwing the ball deep. And Darryl Brown, that's the game you want to play. Run the ball, then boom, take a shot over the top.
2nd and about 3, first drive for the Whirlies on offense after they forced a 3 and out. Out of the gun, Brandon. They will reset now as Howerton shifts to the right slot. 4 receiver formation on 2nd and short. Brandon looks to throw. Once across the middle on a hard slant, and a low catch is made inside the 20-yard line. Excellent hands right there by Caden Cato. We'll be calling his name a lot. Top target for Brandon this year.
And he was huge last week in the victory against Weddington. That is a difficult catch. With the arm strength, that ball was low. Cato goes down and gets it.
So first down inside the 25-yard line. Summers again bangs off a would-be tackler, sprints toward the sideline and gets it down close to the 20-yard line. Well, it has not been easy pickings for these teams to get to the state championship game, especially last week. Both of these teams were down at halftime. Weddington led Grimsley 10-0 before the Whirlies came back. And meanwhile, the Rolesville Rams, they trailed 24-21 at halftime to Cardinal Gibbons before they picked up their 3rd straight road win. 2nd down and 6 from the 20-yard line. Summers to the left of Brandon. Summers one more time, and finally limited by the defensive front of the Rams.
That's how you got to play this defense on the backside, flying off the edge, being relentless. Cameron Harrison, the defensive lineman, just skates down the line to make the play.
All right, 3rd down and about 6. inside the One Care NC red zone, assisting clients' health requirements and treatments at home. Third down. Brandon moves the pocket a bit, throws against, has a man toward the goal line. It's caught. The dive to the pylon. Touchdown, Whirlies. Kyan Battle. A beautiful one-on-one move. A look away by Brandon. A pinpoint throw. And the Whirlies strike first inside the first 6 minutes of the state championship game.
This is how you want to start off the ball game. Excellent job from Brandon, putting his eyes over on the left side, get the defense rolling over, and then come back to Battle, who is so versatile on the outside. That was an excellent route getting open. And that separation is one of the keys to his game, the ability to get out of cuts. Got open, beautiful pass.
And Jackson Henry bangs in the extra point. That is the 34th touchdown pass for Brandon this year against a lonely one interception. 6:09 to play, opening quarter for the 4A title, and the unbeaten Whirlies strike first. 7-0 lead, Grimsley on top of Rolesville, and there's Faison Brandon doing Faison Brandon type things. A 20-yard touchdown strike, and the early lead belongs to Grimsley. So ready now for the Rowan Law kickoff. At Rowan Law, we fight and have the verdicts to prove it. Picasso start for the Whirlies. Jumping on top of Rolesville after the defense set up the opening drive for Grimsley. End over end kick to the goal line, returnable by the Rams. Spinning away near the 15, and he will not get loose. Excellent special teams coverage on the kick team for the Whirlies. Let's go downstairs. Hazard duty pay tonight for Madison Little. It's cold, it's rainy, and here she is, Madison.
Well, Patrick, Braden Atkinson seems unfazed on the sidelines. We saw him bobble a few snaps in that first drive, but he ran off the field, got some practice reps in with his snapper, and he's ready to go. He talked with Coach Rainier Rackley, and they are still very confident in him. Rainier Rackley told us earlier this week, I'm super confident anytime Braden has the ball in his hands.
Atkinson known for a really lightning quick release. 50 touchdown passes this year for the Rams. A lot of people thought going to Cleveland a couple of rounds ago might be the end of the Rams, but they dominated. They throttled Cleveland in front of their great fan base, 49-6. And a near interception off of the hands, incomplete. That would have been a pick six for Josiah Hussey.
Well, Hussey reads it, and he was excellent last week against Weddington starting off this ball game. He's a player to watch on the defensive end for the Whirlies. He has that anticipation that you want in a safety.
Let's take a look at the starting defense, brought to you by Tatum and Atkinson. Injured in a car wreck, called the heavy hitters.
Fast group up front with Davis Hill, Colberry, Wardlaw, the linebackers. They roam sideline to sideline with Searles, Milner, Young, and in the back end. That's a group that's lengthy, and they're really good at their coverage skills.
Four-man rush going deep down the middle into coverage. A high pass, an incomplete pass, and no penalty markers down. Grimsley back there with Ryan DeBow, number 7 in double coverage. Third down for the Rams.
The Rolesville offense will take shots. Mike Holderman, the offensive coordinator, has an explosive group of wide receivers, a quarterback with a strong arm, and they're going to test out this secondary. See the strength of that throw. Atkinson trying to needle it in. Go back to that. They'll again test out the secondary with their speed on the outside.
Not where the Rams want to be. Down an early touchdown and deep in their own own side of the field. Third and long once again. 3rd and 10 on the ground, and the defense will hem in the ball carrier Evan Thomas, and that will force another punt for the Rams.
The open of the broadcast, we talked about the keys for Grimsley. The defensive side is keep everything in front. The previous play, the safeties were back. On 3rd down, a run is called. The safeties and the linebackers work together to make sure they had a sure tackle to get off the field.
Look at Rainier Rackley on the sideline. 2 offensive possessions, no first downs. And once again, likely excellent field position for the Whirlies. The kick by Daniels. Forces back, Battle over the shoulder, catch the 35, juking, finds a seam to midfield, on his feet, in trouble now for the Rams. Battle bumped out of bounds at the 20-yard line. That's a 42-yard return on that punt by Kyan Battle. How about the moves that he put on the coverage stream right here?
Well, he scored his 5th touchdown on offense and almost took this to the house. He's one of the best returners in this state. He just has the ability to break things open. He had a nice cut, then went right up the middle and stays out on the field.
And now Grimsley looking to seize control early in this one. Barely more than 7 minutes have gone by in the opening quarter. Summers spun around and thrown for negative yardage. Loss of about 3. Right now it looks like the Rams are just selling out to contain Summers, but that means that Brandon could have a lot of open territory.
And you can't let this offense have the run and the pass. You have to take something away. And then run support, they're doing a good job filling their lanes. Avery Fleet, number 7, his defensive line is a group that really does a good job swarming to the ball.
Second down, Brandon looking to throw, lofts one, a leaping grab is made by Cato, and he's tackled inside the 5-yard line. A finesse throw by Faison Brandon that only Cato could come down with. First and goal.
And Brandon has the touch. He's got the strong arm, but he knows the different speed arm angles you got to use to get the ball to your wide receivers.
And now Summers on the next play, bangs it home, and it's 13-0 Grimsley. 2-yard touchdown run. Brought to you by Meg Brown Home Furnishings, just off I-40 and Bermuda Run. And this is an ideal start for Grimsley.
Jesse Tripp, the offensive coordinator, used tempo after that completion through the air. They get up to the line of scrimmage, then keep the ball on the ground to Summers. You trust your big offensive line. He's really done a nice job calling this game the first 2 drives.
2 touchdowns by the Whirlies in barely over 2 minutes, and they have landed an uppercut against the Rolesville Rams. 14-zip Grimsley, not even done with the opening quarter. Well, the payoff in that touchdown drive for Grimsley was the 2-yard run by Summers, but it was all set up by the phenomenal punt return by Kyan Battle of 42 yards that put Grimsley right on the doorstep for the second time. And now, Jay, as we come back here, 4:07 left in the opening quarter. You don't want to raise the alarm bells too loudly, too soon for the Rolesville Rams, but they're starting to ring a little bit, aren't they?
But yeah, and special teams in any ball game is important, especially in state championship games. And the Whirlies got an excellent position to start that second drive and really help them score. And now for Rolesville, you need a return here to help out your offense and to get something going.
All right, Rowan kickoff brought to you by Rowan Law. We fight and have the verdicts to prove it. Another kick right to the goal line, returned by Rolesville. This time a little bit better return. That's about the 25-yard line. And that's where the drive will begin for the Rolesville Rams after that return by Jonathan Dunn. Again, each of these teams trailed at halftime last week in the regional finals, so this is not uncharted territory for the Rolesville Rams. But again, they know how athletic, they know how uber talented this Whirly team is from last year, and then again from week 2 this year. They do not want to be a couple of scores down in the opening quarter, but that's where they find themselves. So they will lean on their senior quarterback, Braden Atkinson, on first down. The handoff, a little slowly developing play to about the 30-yard line, gain of 5.
It's important for Rolesville to have success on first down. That way, it makes it more manageable second and third down situations. That's a good job. You get Brown in motion. That offensive line gets some push up front to make it 2nd and 5.
2 possessions, no first down so far for the Rams. 2nd and 5. A look to the sideline, maybe a change of the play. There are a lot of wide-out threats in this Rams offense. Waddell, Alford, Roberts on the ground. Nice move there. Will be the first down of this championship That's Amir Brown getting the rotation in the backfield on this set of downs.
Brown and Thomas are dangerous when they get to the second level. You see the initial wall by the O-line, a missed tackle. And then there he gets past that line of scrimmage. Davis has to come in to make the play, but this is a group of backs for Rolesville. A lot of balance to Rainier Rackley and his offense.
Hamrick's first down, great brands, incredible prices. Shop Hamrick's today. First down, play fake. A swing to the outside. This is Brown. Dances close to midfield, and he may have another first down on consecutive plays for Rolesville.
A nice job by Atkinson. A couple running plays. A little fake, and then throw the ball out to the flat. Nice, easy pass over to Brown where he can catch it, get yards after the catch. Now this offense getting a little bit of rhythm.
Approaching midfield, 14-0 down, 2.5 to play in the opening quarter. Worley's rush 4. Atkinson fires across the middle, and a big connection there inside the 30-yard line. We have seen his arm strength. That's Gavin Waddell. A perfect route and an on-target feed from Atkinson.
Waddell, he's a special junior, Big Ten, SEC interest, and it's a deep post route, splits the safeties, and gets that separation with the speed. That was an excellent pass with protection up front from the O-line. Atkinson really doing a nice job reading the defense.
For about 25, down to the 25-yard line, a turn and a handoff. This is Thomas to the strong side of the field, and not a lot there for Devon Thomas.
And for Rolesville, Patrick, don't you feel like there has to be a response? You have to have a touchdown. Still early, but you just need to get it going here, especially seeing how good the Worley's offense is, putting up 2 touchdowns. You've got to respond on this drive.
At the minimum, they have at least flipped field position. But yes, everybody in black and red on the sideline are thinking points are mandatory here. 2nd and 10. Thomas in the pistol behind Atkinson. And now sprints to the wide side of the field. Atkinson looking, he has some time, now being chased, retreating, throws off his back foot. This is dangerous, and it's tipped away. Incomplete. And for Grimsley, that's Hussey, who got his hand on another pass.
And Atkinson was initially looking for A.J. Roberts. And he comes off it, and there's Hussey again around the ball. He was excellent last week against Weddington, and here early on, we've already called his name a couple times making plays.
He had that pick 6 in his hands a couple of plays ago. Pass break over there. 3rd down and 10 from the 25-yard line for the Rams. Closing in on 1 minute for the opening quarter. Atkinson looking, fires sideline. It's caught around the 20-yard line, but that's going to be short of the first down. So you're down by 2 touchdowns here. It's 4th and about 3. Field goals aren't going to win you the state championship, so I imagine the offense will stay out here for the Rams. The first real decision for Rainier Rackley. And I'm not sure they have the right personnel on the field here. They may have to burn a timeout. This is too important of a play to have this kind of confusion. And they just actually deployed one guy off of the sideline toward the right sideline to get enough players on the field. 4th and 3. Here we go. Rams are going. And now we do get a stoppage, and we do get a Rolesville timeout. That play was breaking down for the last 30 seconds.
Riley Daniels, the kicker for Rolesville, is one of the best in the state. But here with the conditions, and obviously 4th and 3, you feel like this is manageable. Do we go for it, or do we go ahead and kick it? And I think timeout, making sure everyone's on the same page and figure out what the correct decision is here is important, just to bring everybody over to the sideline and make sure everything was set.
We just got to look at Riley Daniels. He's on the field coming on the other side of this timeout, and Atkinson has the headset on. And it looks like we've had a change of heart here by Rainier Rackley, and the Rams are going to go for the field goal here. What do you think?
Well, and Daniels' range is over 50 yards, and he's been great throughout his career. And I think at this point, you want to make sure you come away with points on this drive. Of course, you want the touchdown, but you have to have some points here. he's got confidence in Daniels.
And he has a big, big left foot. He is a soccer star across the state. As a matter of fact, he played in about 2 or 3 soccer games a week, and then on those Fridays, he'd be suited up and playing football here. This is why he is with the Rams. 35-yard field goal attempt low. I'm not sure if it was deflected, but it is short and wide and no good. So the change in tack for the Rams going to the trusty left foot of Riley Daniels does not pay dividends.
And it could have been tipped too. I mean, this is an excellent rush from the Whirlies.
Looked like Drew Sears,
the junior linebacker, 6'1", jumps up, got a piece of that ball.
Well, that is a psychological harpoon for the Rams. You're driving, a couple of first downs, you feel confident. Kind of a busted play call on that 4th and 3 where they clearly wanted to go. They change their minds and have a field goal tipped and no good. So still down by 14. This is likely to be the final play of the opening quarter as Mitchell Summers runs it for about 9. And the Grimsley Whirlies, which claimed their only school title 3 years ago, have dominated the opening 12 minutes here at Soggy Keenan Stadium in Chapel Hill. 2 touchdowns inside 2 minutes. And the top seed out of the West, the Grimsley Whirlies, up 14-0 on Rolesville for the 4A title. All right, Jay, let's take a look at the first quarter stats. Grimsley up 14-zip, and they held Rolesville out of first down for about the first 6 minutes.
And the difference is, it's not on the stat sheet, special teams. The big return from Kyan Battle, make it a short field, and then the blocked field goal to limit Rolesville from 3 points. And this offense, he's on Brandon, 5 for 5. They're running the ball. There's balance for the Whirlies.
Second and shorts on the opening play of the second quarter, and no gain there, so it'll be 3rd and short for the Whirlies. Well, we mentioned these 2 squads played in week 2, and I had a chance to speak with Gavin Marks, the center for Rolesville. We saw him in uniform to get a sportsmanship award. We saw him out there with the captains for Rolesville, but he is not going to play tonight. But I talked to him about that game against Grimsley back in week 2, and I said, what did not go right? He said, we just made a lot of small mistakes. We've seen kind of a continuation of that, at least for the first quarter here tonight. 3rd and shorts, and just barreling down, leading with the right shoulder again is Mitchell Summers. And it's a first down as we go downstairs for Madison.
Well, Patrick, you guys talked about the battle that Gavin Marks is going through earlier in this game, but Coach Rackley told me that was a big gut punch to his team, but now they're rallying around him and playing this game for him. Of course, that loss comes with some adjustments, having to fill a spot up front, but it's all just further motivations for the Ram. He says, if we have a guy fighting for his life, why can't we fight for each other?
So many layers to that story. First down, a fake toss, holding his Brandon for no gain. But Jay, you and I both talked with Gavin beforehand. He showed us some pictures of him in the hospital. And again, this was a weeks-long, if not months-long search for an answer, because he told me it started with some hives that they thought they would just kind of go away. Then they diagnosed pneumonia, thought it might be that, put him on some medication. That didn't seem to handle things. And then he said one day he just wasn't feeling very well, stepped on the scale. He had dropped 30 pounds from his early season weight, knew something was wrong, and then went to the hospital to get checked out. And a big defensive stop there by the Rams. And it's now 3rd and long and behind the chains here for Grimsley.
This was Xavier Lewis, number 3, right in the middle of the screen. Spin move, that quick first step. He signed with Austin P. He's been doing that all season long for the Rams defensive line.
Well, here's the real first opportunity defensively for the Rolesville Rams. 3rd and 14, how aggressive will they be? Will they come after Brandon, or will they play coverage? They rush 5. This one is lofted down the right sideline, and it's incomplete. A little shove out of bounds as we get a plea from Caden Cato, but I don't think that was a catchable pass anyway. And Rolesville, for the first time, will force a Grimsley punt.
And Brandon just has an easy arm strength. I mean, he just flicks that ball out, carries a little bit.
Good no call here at the end.
Yeah, and Cato goes up for it, wants the contact, but that ball easily out of bounds.
Now, we don't see the Whirlies punt very often, so this is huge for a lot of different reasons for the Rams. Trailing 14-0, 9:33 left in the opening half. And we get our first penalty marker of this contest. So Carl Berger in the white cap. He is the referee. I had a chance to speak with him. He's been officiating in this association for 25 years. Also spent 25 years in the Air Force. He is retired.
Fourth down.
He said, in this association, 25 years, but I've done one state title game. I said, well, what other association? He said, I started as an official in high school football in San Antonio, Texas. And a big family reunion for him, as he has some relatives coming up from South Carolina. His wife and son are here as well. Returnable punt for the Rams. Can they get a spark on special teams? Decent field position for the first time tonight for Rolesville out at the 36-yard line. All right, Jay, the feeling out process is now over. You're in the middle portion of this championship sandwich. It's time for Rolesville to make a statement. They nearly did that last drive. What do they need to address here?
Well, I think they've got to go back to the running game. And on that last drive, a couple runs set up the play action pass where they could take those explosive plays, those chances down the field where they connected a couple times. So I think it starts running the football, trying to get that defense to come up to play the run, and then you can hit them over the top.
Looks like it is Amir Brown in the backfield. We saw some quality carries from him when he got his first rotation. He'll get the call here. Big room out toward midfield. Races down the sideline and takes it out of bounds inside the 40.
This was excellent work by the offensive line over on the left side, creating that crease. Wide open path for Brown. One of the top sophomores in the state has the speed to break it loose, and now this offense going up tempo, trying to get the defense on their heels.
29 on that carry. This stretch into the arms of Brown, but read beautifully by Grimsley's Kyrie Milner and Ryan DeBow, number 7. Loss of 5.
Milner's a 2-year starter, is always around the ball. Just beat the block up front. This is a defense that went against Huff and Weddington with vaunted offenses, kept them in the 20s in both of those ball games, and Milner has had a big year.
2nd and 15. So we've seen some sparks from Rolesville the last 2 drives, but they sputtered. Missed a field goal. And now after they get inside the 50-yard line, loss of 5. Atkinson fakes. Time to throw. The offensive line holds up, and how's that for a finesse pass? All the way across the field, and all the way down the sideline. Touchdown, it's A.J. Roberts. A beautifully designed play by the Rolesville Rams, sold by Atkinson, assisted by the offensive line, and then Roberts in stride, taking the pass up the sideline, and the Rams show life in the 4A title game.
The O-line holding up. Jack McHugh had the key block going against Bryce Davis, holding up, allowing Atkinson to throw a perfect ball over to Roberts. Roberts plays basketball, only a sophomore. Next in line, does a nice job with yards after the catch, making a man miss, taking it all the way, and the Rams finding a way to respond.
And no problem on the PAT for Riley Daniels. That is a 43-yard touchdown pass from Atkinson to A.J. Roberts. Grimsley leading 14-7 with 8:20 to go in the second quarter. Stay tuned for the myspot.nc.gov halftime report. We will have a special interview with our friend Q Tucker, the commissioner of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. We'll have first half highlights and more. Get protected this holiday season with updated COVID-19 and flu shots Visit myspot.nc.gov and find yours today. A massive reply by the Rolesville Rams. 43-yard hookup between Atkinson and A.J. Roberts. I mean, you could not have drawn up a better play for that pressure by the Rolesville Rams. Executed flawlessly. Ready for the Rowan Law kickoff. At Rowan Law, we fight and have the verdicts to prove it. A bouncing kick knocked down and handled by Grimsley. And this drive will begin a little bit short of the 30-yard line. Well, that's a bit of an attention getter for the Whirlies. Yes, how do they respond?
Well, I'll tell you what, the defense over on the sideline. All right, a couple adjustments we have to make. We have to keep everything in front, make sure we tackle. And with the offense coming out here, got to rely on Brandon. And the year that he's had, he makes such good decisions, Patrick. 33 touchdowns, only 1 interception. And I think we'll see the Whirlies come out here and really test out the secondary. I think they'll be aggressive on this drive.
Summers in the backfield gets the call on first down. That defensive line is chewing up some O-linemen and making things a little bit tougher for Summers to pick up a hard 2.
Especially when you see the linebackers coming up and run support. That's the time you say, okay, we're going to have one-on-one coverage on the outside. There's Taylor Watkins, one of their star linebackers, making the play.
Grimsley deploys Debo to the bottom of the screen on 2nd and 8. Summers spun around, ankle tackle, who pick up a couple of more, but this is where the Rams want to have Grimsley. In their own territory, 3rd and kind of moderate. In that last drive, the Rolesville Rams forced a whirly punts and feeling a whole lot better about their ability to contain this whirly vaunted offense. Spreading the field out, 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Press coverage here by the Rams on 3rd and 4 for Grimsley.
Yeah, one-on-one coverage up at the top of the screen. 1 safety right in the middle of the field. Brandon will have opportunities as Whirlies will call a timeout.
Timeout Grimsley, 7 minutes even in the first half. What do you think Darryl Braun saw right there?
I think it's just making sure this is a big opportunity. 3rd and 4. Making sure everyone's on the same page and just having the discussion with your coaching staff. Jesse Tripp, the offensive coordinator, Joe Brown working together to make sure they find an effective play here. You've got confidence in your quarterback. You have an outstanding running back, so you have a lot of options here. And you see how Rolesville's playing in coverage.
And it's interesting, too, because Grimsley, I can't imagine, faces a lot of one-on-one coverage across all receivers in many opportunities. They may get it here. Conclusion of today's game, we will be selecting the Tatum Atkinson player of the game. Tatum and Atkinson injured in a car wreck. Call the heavy hitters. I mean, there's nobody they trust more, and really any high school coach in the country would trust more than Faison Brandon. 77% completion percentage this year. 2,632 yards coming into this one, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Regular season and playoffs, 33 touchdowns, 1 pick. He's thrown a touchdown pass tonight. And Rolesville at least was challenging him one-on-one coverage, but a play call change here by Grimsley. 2 receivers to formation on 3rd and 4. A little inside handoff, contact, and again, Summers driving, but he's going to be a little short. This will be interesting now.
Well, I think the thought process during that timeout is, okay, we'll run the ball. We've got an outstanding running game. If we don't get it, we're going to go for it on 4th down if it's close. And Summers just drives his legs forward, has an innate ability to pick up the extra yards when it's not there.
We talked a lot about this in the open. Grimsley rarely punts, even in their own territory, and even in a 4A state title game. It's 4th and 1 from their own 38. There's the snap. Summers, hemmed in, driven, driving forward, and he has done it again. Summers, they will give him forward progress to the 40-yard line, and that's going to be enough, Jay. The Rams had him in the backfield. And did Rolesville, oh, they moved it back. Did his knee touch?
I think they blew the whistle. Call forward progress.
Rolesville's gotten a stop. The referees are talking. There was some confusion on which official was halting the play. Forward progress gave Summers the 40, and then quickly they picked the football up and moved it back 2 yards. So instead of getting it, it's a turnover on down.
There's initial stop. They blow the whistle, and then there's that surge. So the whistle was blown after that initial hit.
That was a quick whistle. I didn't hear an early whistle, Jay. Did his knee touch, though? Is that the question? You see one of the officials go in there and mark the spot with his right foot. Rolesville football. Now a chance to tie the game here. Trailing 14-7. And a pick on the very next play. Ryan Debo cut inside a broken play right in front of the Rolesville bench. No first down, negated. Football right back to the Whirlies.
Joe Rigsby, the defensive coordinator, can use Debo in the box or on the back end in the secondary. Darryl Brown just raved about his versatility. And you see him right in the middle of the screen, reading the eyes, jumping in front of the passing lane.
First bit of adversity for the Grimsley Whirlies erased in a matter of seconds. Back on offense, Faison Brandon. And this is Summers breaking through, and Summers, big chunk of yardage of about 14.
And Summers has that ability as the game goes on. He just wears down a defense. And he has really good speed and the power in between the tackles to run through defenders. And he just keeps wearing on you, and they keep feeding him the ball, and that's a good start to this drive, giving the ball to 22.
He came into the state title game, 260 carries this year, Jay. 45 of them for touchdowns.
Amazing.
First down. Brandon zigzagging ahead. There's the whistle. It will stop his progress maybe a yard.
With Brandon's athleticism, with that zone read, all the defense's eyes on Summers, it gives him opportunity to run the ball. And Darryl Brown just raved about Brandon and Summers, how they're humble, they're great kids, they're hard workers, and all the teammates love those two of the best leaders on this team.
Faison committed to the Tennessee Volunteer Program back in August. North Carolina Gatorade Player of the Year. Top prospect of the class of 2026 nationally. Zips one into the left seam, and it's a first down inside the 45. The catch to DJ Howerton.
And he's next in line. Howerton, tight end, 6'6", 235 pounds. They'll split him out wide. It's a quick slant, has the size that you want in a prospect at the next level, and he's going to be a big part of tonight's game plan.
Carolina Ford dealers first down with Ford F-150 on your team. It's game on. See your Carolina Ford dealer today. Jay, this feels like a college game for a high school state title, doesn't it?
It does. So many great players, outstanding coaches.
Summers breaks free. One man to beat. Got a great block, and that frees up Mitchell Summers, taking it home from 44 yards out. That is his 47th touchdown run of the year. Wearing Rolesville out is Mitchell Summers, and we're still in the first half.
As a counter, the O-line, there's Howerton leading the way, and then Caden Cato right there with the pancake block. You see him blocking out of the screen. No Rams defenders in sight. And Summers makes it look easy, trotting into the end zone.
20-7, Grimsley. Just when there was a crack in the door to allow Rolesville right back in it. The remarking of what would have been a first down gave Rolesville a football. They held it for about 5 seconds, threw an interception, and then this occurs from number 22. 21-7, Grimsley. Here's our McIver Law Firm scoring summary for that last drive. CYA, call your attorney, Roderick T. McIver. 44-yard payoff on the touchdown run by Mitchell Summers. Minute 49, almost 70 yards. And again, that's right on the heels of the interception thrown by Rolesville.
As good as Summers is running the football, Joe Brown talked about him being even better when the ball's not in his hands. His pass blocking ability, his ability to catch the ball, everything he does brings so much value to his team.
Rolesville looking for a big play here on special teams, and they get a nice return, forging ahead toward almost the 40-yard line. 21-7 Grimsley, 4:05 left in the first half. And a reminder, stay tuned. At the end of tonight's game, we will showcase the Carolina Ford dealers drive of the game. With Ford F-150 on your team, it's game on. See your Carolina Ford dealer today.
During a return.
Penalty marker down on that kickoff return by Rolesville.
10 yards from the spot of the foul.
It's a block in the back against the Rams. So that will negate a pretty good return and good field position for Rolesville. Grimsley will get the ball on the other side of halftime. Grimsley leads by 14 points. Critical next offensive set here for the Rams.
Rainier Rackley has confidence in this offense, and they've put up over 50 points at ease throughout the season. And we've already seen earlier on the previous possession how explosive they can be.
And again, just enough mistakes in a championship game against a team like Grimsley is why the Rams are in trouble here. Atkinson goes down and fetches the low snap. Finds some space to his right. Now pressure. Evades one and is sacked for about a 3-yard loss. Coverage sack. That's Bryce Davis, number 12, who will get credit for it. But the defensive line and some harassment in the backfield. Rolesville loses about 4.
This was amazing work from Davis and Searles. And Davis initially double teamed. Couldn't get to Atkinson and then just hustled, continued to fight through it to make the play.
Back of the chains on second down for the Rams. Atkinson, handoff, little hesitation, and yardage beyond the 20. That'll bring up third down and about 8. The carry by Amir Brown. Big spot right here for the Rams. Desperately needed a first down because A, they need points, but B, they do not want to give the football back with about 2.5 to go in the first half to Grimsley. Not the way that this offensive juggernaut is rolling. Atkinson will get some time. 4-man rush, hit from behind, and lost the football inside the 10. Covered up, though, by one of the offensive linemen for the Rams, but the strip sack, and that's Bryce Davis one more time. And nearly a fatal blow for the Rams.
Davis making an impact on this drive. Great job beating the tackle and then just going for the ball. He'll be headed to Duke, and you can see why with that immense talent, how he can change a game.
2 big plays on that defensive set for the Grimsley defensive end, and now Riley Daniels will be almost the back of the end zone. We've seen how devastating special teams have been already for Grimsley. We'll see what Battle will do on this punt return. Short kick, spinner. It's going to bounce, and Battle will retreat, and they will let it roll right around midfield. So that is about a 47-yard kick. Fortunately for the Rams, there was no return, but unfortunately for the Rams, a minute 43 to go, fairly short field, plus 2 timeouts for the Whirlies, leading by 14.
And I don't think you have to necessarily throw the ball on every play here with Summers' ability to create big plays on the ground and those timeouts. Wouldn't be surprised if they mix in a couple runs.
21-7 Grimsley. In motion, Cato. Couple of yards for Summers. And the Whirlies right now in no hurry. And a couple of timeouts. Explosive offense. They stack 3 to the top. Brandon, there's the toss. Not a lot of room there, and Summers is bottled up at the 45-yard line. Now we will get a timeout taken by Grimsley. 1:08 to go, so a couple conservative play calls in the first 2, netting very little. And now you're right around a minute, 1 timeout left, and 3rd and 4 coming up for the Whirlies.
I think the thought process was on those first 2 plays, let's see if we can pop one on the ground. And knowing that you can stop the clock here, and then for this 3rd down, make sure everybody's ready and make sure everyone's good with the play call. And Brandon, there's Darryl Brown talking with his coaching staff, making sure everybody's good with this call here. And then I think after this play, if you pick it up, you'll see the Whirlies start to play up-tempo.
Coming up in a little over a minute, the myspot.nc.gov halftime report. We'll sit down with Q Tucker, the commissioner of the NCHSAA. Highlights from the first half of this title game and more. Get protected this holiday season with updated COVID-19 and flu shots. To do so, visit myspot.nc.gov and find yours tonight. 21-7 Grimsley scored 2 touchdowns in 2 minutes and 2 seconds, midway inside that opening quarter. Rolesville struck back on a long pass by Atkinson. But after an interception by Rolesville, Grimsley quickly went down the field about 70 yards. Got a big 44-yard touchdown run from Summers. Forced a punt. Grimsley trying to tack on before halftime here. 3rd and 4 with 1:08 to go. Brandon looking left, in trouble. Spins away. Can he outrun the pressure? He cannot. Defensive play of the game so far for the Rolesville Rams. Jaden Griffin-Haynes, number 24, came from the strong side, and Brandon could not spin away.
Well, this was an amazing play, and the defense for Rolesville had to have it. Griffin-Haynes, 6'3", 200 pounds, receiving ACC recruiting interest, flies off the edge, and I cannot overstate. You see as he's next to Kevin Reddick, the defense coordinator that played in the NFL and here at UNC, how important that stop was.
I think if you're the offensive coordinator for the Whirlies, you're probably going back to the first couple of plays, very conservative. You wanted to leave it up to Brandon right there, but you see the Rams making a big play. And instead of tacking on 3 points and extending the lead perhaps before halftime, Rolesville gets the stop, gets some confidence. And now, Jay, we'll see how aggressive they are on this punt opportunity. Will they come with the punt block team or play conservatively and do what they can with about 45 seconds?
Yeah, I mean, I think in this situation, you just want to make sure you try to get to the halftime break. And I would expect them just to play it safe, play for the return.
58 seconds.
For Grimsley, though, of course you want to convert them. You want points going into the break. The biggest thing here is just pin back. Rolesville, try to get to the break and make some adjustments. And you feel good about this potential lead if you can close it out with a 14-point cushion.
Marion Turner, dangerous punt return man for the Rams, stands back at the 25-yard line. Chase Hullmantle's the punter here for Grimsley, and we got a marker thrown. And again, this was 4th and about 17, and if this goes on the Rams, it'd still be a punting situation.
Dead
There's
ball.
Carl Berger.
Encroachment. Defense. 5 yards. 4th down.
But even those little things matter. If you're Raina Rackley and the Rams head coach trying to clean things up after a week 2 loss. There's the kick. Spins away from Turner, short, and bounces backwards and is swatted down right around the 35-yard line. So Rolesville, 1 timeout, 48 seconds. Whirly offense we know is very dangerous. Rolesville right in line with that. I'm I'd be surprised if Atkinson takes a knee here. I think he has to take a couple of shots. So
well, and I think with where the field position now, that this could change things. And maybe screen, something safe to see if you can get a big play. But I think you have the timeout and you're down 2 scores. With where it's at, I think you're going to be aggressive.
And you don't get the ball on the other side of halftime either if you're the Rams.
You have to protect up front on the last drive. That was the issue, was the pressure coming off the edge from Davis.
So here we go, 48 seconds left first half. There's 3 receivers in the formation for Rolesville. Atkinson, not a lot of time. They set up a screen. It's caught by Thomas up the right side and cartwheeled out of bounds close to midfield. That will stop the clock with 42 seconds.
A perfect play call. Mike Holderman, the offense coordinator, Rainier Rackley, recognizing last drive there's a pass rush. Okay, how do you get past that? Okay, set up a screen. Let the pass rushers come up the field, dump it up over the top. A nice job from Thomas, clearing the path and then making something happen.
Carolina Ford dealers first down. The F-150 on your team, it's game on. See your Carolina Ford dealer today. Still the 1 timeout, out to the 46-yard line. But more importantly, 42 seconds left. Showing pressure are the Whirlies. They come with 4. Atkinson loads up, throws right side. There's some early holding there, and this is going to go on Grimsley. The defender, Cassie Barnes, had his back to the throw coming and just would not disengage.
Jaden Alford was the receiver Atkinson was looking towards.
Pass interference. Defense. 15 yards from the previous spot. Results in a first down.
Offensive line protecting up front, keeping a clean pocket. The contact on the outside. With Alford, one of the top targets. He's going to Elon. He's had a really big year, and now this Rolesville offense has something going.
Pass interference right in front of head coach Darryl Brown. Usually you lobby against those calls. Nope. Hands in his pockets, he knew. They set up another screen, beautifully feed it out to Brown. He'll take it inside the 30, down to the 25-yard line. Clock will stop again for the Rams. 31 seconds to go, and they're in range.
The same screen play again. As Atkinson spikes it, Patrick, that's an excellent play call because Davis, star defensive end, is on the left side. They recognize he's getting a rush, so they go back to the screen play again. It's very effective. As Atkinson drops back down at the bottom of the screen, you see 12 getting blocked, and they just go to the opposite side, making it difficult for him to get to Atkinson.
So second down from the 26-yard line. Still, the Rams are fortunate to have that 1 timeout in their back pocket here. Whirlies are coming with 5. This one's going to the pylon in the end zone, leaping up for an attempt in the air, and incomplete. Looking for Gavin Waddell. It was Chris Young, number 24, back in coverage.
Beautiful
out of there.
Yeah, beautiful pass from Atkinson, and both guys pushing each other and
a little early contact, Jay.
Nudge.
No flag. Third down. 23 seconds left. So with that timeout, you still might have 3 or 4 plays here if you're the Rams.
But and here too, possible field goal if you don't pick it up, but you would like to at least get positive yards to pick it up or help out Daniels.
Atkinson has a man in the 10, caught and out of bounds. 18 seconds left in the first half. And my, how the last couple of minutes of this first half has changed. Waddell found himself ahead of the defender and wisely took it out of bounds with 2 knees.
Perfect pass from Atkinson, strong in the pocket, getting hit as he throws it. Threw a strike to Waddell on the out route.
And Jay, you have 3 legit shots to throw to the end zone here before the end of this first half. Brown goes in motion. Atkinson runs right. He's looking. Lofts it the other way. Wide open. Touchdown, Rolesville. When it looked like the Whirlies were on the march to extend the lead, instead, the Rolesville Rams get the stop. Sprint down the field. Perfect play calls across the entire drive.
It was a tight end throwback and a great job by Jack McHugh, the sophomore tight end. He was lined up as a wing, kind of delayed it, then went across the formation as Atkinson was rolling towards the right, had enough separation. And what a drive, Patrick, from Rolesville. They are backed up on their own 30, 58 seconds left. Are you going to sit on it or are you going to be aggressive? They made the right call, going for it. And a good job by Atkinson, leading the way on the drive and finishing it off with McHugh's touchdown.
In Rolesville's first 15 games this year, McHugh had 11 catches. He now has a state championship touchdown reception and an extraordinarily important moment for the Rolesville Rams.
Rainier Ackley, with his team, he's got trust and belief in them. And when adversity strikes, he knows they'll keep on pushing. He's got to be proud of his team's effort. When you get down, how are you going to respond? And right now, that was a big drive, getting a touchdown and responding.
All right, here is our drive summary brought to you by McIver Law Firm. CYA, call your attorney, Roderick T. McIver. 66 yards, 6 plays. We didn't know if 48 seconds was going to be enough. They saved 25% of it. They used 36 seconds and leave the Whirlies 12. We don't know how this game plays out, but for both coordinators offensively in these last 2 minutes, for Grimsley's OC, the play calls they decided to go with, up 21-7, and Rolesville's offensive coordinator pushing every single perfect button.
In these ball games, you have excellent head coaches, and then their staffs are top-notch, and you can see both sides doing their job, creating big plays, and their schemes have really enabled their teams to have a high level of success.
7 seconds left in the first half. I think if you're both coaching staffs and probably the players as well going into halftime, you could almost say this is still a first half of missed opportunities.
Yeah.
And Grimsley had opportunities to extend leads, couldn't quite do it. Rolesville has played far from a perfect first half against undeniably the best team in the western half of the state, and they're only down by 7.
I think each team will feel like, all right, now the game's about to begin here when you come out in the second half, and they're going to say, all right, we did have some opportunities, but now it's about one half of football. The adjustments we make, how can we improve in the second half to bring home the trophy?
Well, each of these teams top rated across the state. They faced a ton of adversity on their path to Keenan. We are at halftime of the 4A state title game. Grimsley on top of Rolesville, 21-14. The myspot.nc.gov halftime report is coming up. But before we do, let's go downstairs to Madison, who is with the Grimsley head coach, Daryl Brown.
Coach, you told us earlier this week this game was going to be one in the trenches. How has your guys up front been able to create opportunity for Summers?
We've played pretty good at times. You know, they've got out just a little bit on the on their defensive side. I think defensively we need to do a little bit better job getting to the quarterback some, getting him a little bit of time back there. But overall, not bad.
What differences did you see from Rolesville in that last drive?
Well, we didn't do a good job offensively. We gave them the ball right back, took a big sack, which we can't do in that situation, and then didn't do a good job tackling a few times, gave them some big plays. So we gave them a lot of momentum. We didn't finish really well right there, and we got some work to do right here.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Madison. 21-14, Grimsley on top of Rolesville. Halftime of the 4A state title game. Don't go anywhere. myspot.nc.gov halftime report is next.
You're watching the myspot.nc.gov halftime report. Get protected this holiday season with updated COVID-19 and flu shots. Visit myspot.nc.gov and find yours today.
Hey everybody, I'm Nelson Weston. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Friday Night Rivals. Joining us today is our long-standing good friend all the way from Ingalls Markets, Melissa Level. Good to see you, my friend.
Your football friend.
It's football friend indeed. Now, Melissa, speaking of football, I want to transition from football to the classroom because you and I both know y'all have a famous program called Tools for Schools. And for those who are unfamiliar, how exactly does it operate on one hand, but on the other hand, more importantly, how do the good folks at home go about supporting it and getting involved today?
Oh, Nelson, it's really a wonderful program because it's geared toward the school and the needs that they have that sometimes, lots of times, teachers will actually end up buying out of their own pocket.
Indeed.
You have an Ingalls Advantage card and a list of schools who participate in the Ingalls Tools for School program. Link your card to one of those schools, and every time you shop, you're earning dollars. At the end of the year, the school can go and purchase what items they need.
Oh, that sounds like an amazing and well-rounded program.
Right.
Now, Ingalls, y'all have provided robust support to the community for so many years now. We're talking high school athletics, college athletics, and everything in between. It does beg the fundamental question, why? Why is this so critical for y'all?
Well, it's not just sports, but it's also educational programs, but we're the home team. Ingalls is your hometown grocery market, so you are also supporting our home teams.
Of course.
It's really important for us to be a part of that community. We love being part of that, and we're blessed to be able to do that. Lots of those students work at our stores or graduated from those schools. We see these people in church, we see these people at work. This is a really big deal for us. Might be a big company to look at us from the outside in, but we like being beacons in our own communities.
Y'all are beacons indeed. All outstanding work. Now, Melissa, very quickly, you and I both know no great game is complete without delicious, mouth-watering good food. What are some of the most popular items on y'all's menu?
Oh my goodness, you have to start off with a wonderful boar's head sub, just absolutely good with all the trimmings, great fried chicken, all the sides you could possibly want, a wonderful salad bar, a wing bar, olive bar. I mean, I don't know if I could decide. I just have to go get a big old wheelbarrow and take it all there, plus all the things you need like chips and drinks and paper plates. One-stop shopping place for all your tailgating.
All fantastic work indeed. Well, Melissa, thank you so much for your time here today.
Thank you, Nelson.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
You're watching the myspot.nc.gov halftime report. Get protected this holiday season with updated COVID-19 and flu shots. Visit myspot.nc.gov and find yours today.
I'm here with the North Carolina High School Athletic Association Commissioner Q Tucker. Commissioner Tucker, this is the best time of the year, the football state championships.
Well, it really is. That's the greatness of what we do, is that there is a beginning, there's an ending, and we know that a lot of stuff happens in between the beginning and the ending. And typically for us, it's good because we're education-based athletics, and so we're trying to teach lessons.
What were the big points of emphasis for the association this year?
It starts obviously with the sportsmanship piece. We just continue to focus on that. Each team that participates in our state championships, we give a sportsmanship award because we want not only those individuals to know it, but we want the general public to know our emphasis on good sportsmanship. And then, of course, you know all the other core values that come along with just trying to help them balance academics and athletics.
Can you give any insight to what next year will look like with the changes in classification?
We have those 8 classes now that the schools voted that they wanted to have. So we've got those set. They're out there for public consumption. And now our realignment committee is at work trying to put together that first draft of conferences to see if our membership will be pleased with where they will land. We will have a lot of conferences that will have multiple classes within them, which will be very, very different. So this next alignment, 25 through 29, is really historic because it's unlike anything we've done since we started classifying schools.
We had devastating storms this season. What struck you about the resilience of those affected?
Everybody who is involved in high school athletics, they work together to try to figure out a way to not only get back on the playing field, but they reached out to help their neighbors. They are bouncing back. Now, many of them are still struggling with where they're living, how they're going to make it through the coldness of this winter. But the resilience is there, and I'm as proud of those people in the West as I've ever been.
You have the opportunity to be one of the first down on the field to greet the state championship winner. What is that moment like for you?
You see the tears of joy. You present those awards to those young people. Coaches are excited. That's great. But at the same time, that runner-up team, yes, they are tears of defeat. But you know what, Jay? They're winners too, to say, hey, you gave it your best shot. Congratulations on a great year, a great season. That's special to me. And that's really why I continue to do what I do.
We appreciate your time, Commissioner Tucker, and thank you for all you do for high school athletics.
Thank you very much, Jay.
You're watching the myspot.nc.gov halftime report. Get protected this holiday season with updated COVID-19 and flu shots. Visit myspot.nc.gov and find yours today.
21-14, the halftime lead, 4A state title game. Grimsley leading the Rolesville Rams. And welcome back inside a frosty broadcast booth. Patrick Keenis and Jay Sohnhalter. And Jay, this one is building. We thought Grimsley had an opportunity to maybe run away in that first quarter, but Rolesville has broken through some adversity. They're within 7. Big momentum switch the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, past few minutes of the half when Rolesville got that drive going, inside of a minute they scored a touchdown. That really shifted over to the Rams sideline going into the break. But here in the second half, it's going to be about adjustments, and I think which team can come out on fire here to start the second half will try to regain the momentum that'll take them the rest of the ballgame.
Let's compress what we saw in the first 24 minutes. Some first half highlights, Jay, and right from the outset, we saw the dominance by the Whirlies.
Faison Brandon started off through the air, and this was an outstanding job with the play call, faking out the defense, and the kind battle. Scored the touchdown, comes back on the return to set up the offense, and he was all over the field making an impact. They started off the 20-yard line, and then Mitchell Summers finished it off going up tempo, setting Grimsley up with a 14-0 lead.
Yeah, the Whirlies defense did not allow a first down to the Rams in their first 2 possessions, but then the Rolesville offense kind of used the screens, some misdirections, and got on track.
They got comfortable. Braden Atkinson really did a nice job reading the defense and making plays to Roberts, and then the Whirlies come back with an interception. They just kept it on the ground, gave it to one of the best, and running back Mitchell Summers, who gets an easy touchdown to make it 21-7 at this point.
107 yards the first half for Summer, and it looked like the Whirlies were going to have an opportunity to build before halftime, but the defense for the Rams made them pay, got the football back, and got the payoff at the end.
Jaden Griffin-Haynes at that point we thought would just stop the scoring drive, and then he gave his offense enough time, and then McHugh, the tight end drag, catches the pass from Atkinson, and that was huge with both teams feeling like, all right, let's take a breath, come out here in the second half and play our best half of football.
That last strike came with 12 seconds left in the half. What sticks out and what stats will you be watching in the second half?
Well, pretty even. I think the one area is the rushing yards. Right now, Grimsley consistent on the ground, 92 yards. They want to just continue to run the ball with Summers and then protecting the football. 1 turnover for Rolesville, none for Grimsley. So in the second half, that's going to be an area to watch as the turnover battle in running the football. Can the Rams get something going on the ground?
21-14 is the halftime lead for Grimsley. We'll come back as we count down to the start of the third quarter. Rainer Rackley, the Rolesville head coach, will join us for his halftime thoughts. And then it's 2 quarters for the 4A state title when we come back. (21-14), Grimsley leading Rolesville for the 4A state title. About to begin the second half. Here's Rainer Rackley, the Rolesville head coach, with Madison.
Coach, a momentum shift in the final minutes of that first half. What did you tell your team before that final drive?
You know what I'm saying? Got to finish. Don't get complacent. Don't get comfortable. We still in this ball game. We got to go out there and play round football.
Now the momentum in your favor. How do you capitalize on that?
Finish it. You know, be confident in who we are as a staff, as a player, and understand the game is right here at arm reach. We just got to go out here and do what we have to do.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, Jay, let's get your thoughts on what you expect to see, changes, wrinkles, approaches for each of these teams.
Well, I think the biggest thing is for both coaching staffs is instilling confidence in your team during the halftime break. You heard Rainer Rackley talking to his team about finishing, and Darryl Brown over on the other side. Had a lot of bright spots in that first half, also some things that they would like to improve on, but I think it's about confidence, and I think for the Whirlies, they're excellent, Patrick, on special teams. They want a good kickoff return here to set up their offense, and I think running the football, they've been effective on the ground with Summers, but I think we will see Brandon really try to take some shots down the field in the second half. And over on the other side, I think for Rolesville, starts off with their defense. They need to stop here, and they need to try to limit the big plays.
Well, here we go. 1.5 for a state title game, and this boot from Daniels goes into the end zone. Our Rolesville kickoff. At Rolesville, we fight and have the verdicts to prove it. Well, here's the first test now for the Rolesville Rams, Jay. Your defense is out there. You're down by 7. You have momentum on that big defensive stop in the final minute of that first half, and then your offensive scores. Now, momentum may be interrupted by halftime, but an opportunity to get off the field and get your offense back out there with a chance to tie it.
Yeah, and it starts on your defensive line. I mean, for them, slowing down Summers and getting a pass rush on Brandon, that's where it starts. And you've got some outstanding players, and Griffin Haynes, Jaden Fry, Xavier Lewis. Those three really have to lead the way.
And it will be Summers on the first down yardage, and he'll pick up about 5, snaking low to the ground. Again, absorbs the first hit, keeps the momentum moving forward, and a lot of after contact plus yardage for Summers in this title game. The total yards in the first half practically even. As a matter of fact, Rolesville outpit Grimsley by 6 yards, but special teams was a big differentiator, and the 1 turnover as well. We've seen Grimsley working with some short fields. Summers again strings it left, waits patiently behind a block by an offensive lineman, TJ Bunch, and picks up nice yardage there. That'll be a first down for Grimsley.
TJ Bunch, number 55. Watch him pull, looking for work. A great job by his teammates clearing a path. You see 55, how athletic he is. Such a good run blocker, just looking for somebody to hit.
Hamrick's first down. Great brands, incredible prices. Shop Hamrick's today. Opening salvo, second half. Throwing Brandon downfield, and it is nearly intercepted. It was almost a circus pick, but around and around and off of the arms of Cannon Marshall, the senior defensive back.
And Brandon gets hit as he throws it. An excellent pass, and that was just a wrestling match here on the outside with Cato and Marshall going for it, and Marshall knocking it loose, almost able to bring it in.
Remember, Faison Brandon has thrown 1 interception all year. The odds of a pick every time he throws is about 1/3 of 1%. That was the shot. 2nd and 10. And Summers brought down from behind. He'll pick up a couple. Haven't seen a lot of 3rd and longs here for Grimsley. Summers might be nicked up as well, favoring that right hand. So he's taking himself out of the game, and he'll be needing some treatment over there. So 3rd and 7. We'll take a look here. Heavy tackle in a lot of different elements. Shoulder, crown of the head, and immediately clutching that right elbow. So Summers on the sideline. 3rd down for Grimsley. Micah Williams has been the general backup to Summers this year. Chasing out to the pocket is Brandon in trouble, but room to pick up a first down, and he does. Dances out of bounds at the 45-yard line, running all the way across the field.
And Jaden Fry, the star defensive end, got the pass rush. You see him flying in, chasing down Brandon, and 6'5" quarterback that can run with a strong arm. You can see why he's rated as number 1 in the junior class.
So out to about the 43-yard line. It will be a first down. And that is a key player down for the Rolesville Rams. Cameron Harrison, their big 6'2" defensive end, who's been an impact defensive player in this game. He's down. The first down carry, though, by Faison Brandon will be negated. A holding call against the Whirlies. And instead of having a first down around the 47, it looks like they're going to mark the football all the way back to the 24-yard line. Maybe further. Officials are still talking as Harrison is being worked on right at the 21. So Carl Berger picks up the markers, signals it is still going to be third down. They have spotted the football at the 24-yard line, and they are working on that left leg of Harrison. So we'll take a timeout. A couple of teammates are coming in case they need to assist him off of the field. Quick timeout, 3rd and long, facing Grimsley when we come back. Harrison hobbled off of the field, and we will resume action as their top defensive end right now is getting some training attention. Grimsley football, opening drive, second half, 3rd and 17 after a holding penalty offset what would have been a first down run. Right quarterback face on Brandon. Brandon roaming right, loading up, fires into double coverage, and it's intercepted by Rolesville at the 45-yard line. Returned up the sideline, inside the 30, tackled down to the 22-yard line. Just the second interception thrown all year by Brandon. And the Rolesville Rams, Marion Turner, not just with the pick, but the return over 30 yards. And the Rams are sniffing a tie for the 4A title here in the third quarter.
Well, Marion Turner has had a special senior season, and this might be the biggest play he's had all year long. Reading that pass in the range to go over, make the play, and then he sets up his offense with this excellent field position. What a play by one of the best players in the state on the back end.
Return to the 22-yard line now. Can Braden Atkinson render this one final? He wants it on the first play. Shove off and a catch made. No, they say incomplete. He caught it going out of bounds. There's no flag for offensive pass interference. Looked like a clear shove by Jaden Alford. So number one, deny an interception opportunity, and number two, give himself a chance to catch it.
Well,
how's that not a flag?
Flag not thrown, and Grimsley sideline not pleased.
Right, that's an egregious offensive pass interference. But it was ruled incomplete. Didn't have command of that football before he touched down beyond the end line. 2nd and 10. Atkinson, pressure over the middle, tosses with finesse, caught by Amir Brown, and he's inside the 5 and pinwheel down to the 2. It's 1st and goal for the Rams.
And Brown comes out of the backfield. See him lined up next to Atkinson, just a little route and peekaboo route right over the center, and then he finishes it off here to get to the 2-yard line.
3 in the backfield. Under center is Atkinson. They have Devon Thomas to the right, Brown to the left. The deep backs. 1st and goal, looking for the tie. It's Brown, and Brown tripped up, knocked off balance, and dropped for a couple-yard loss.
This is a surge right up the middle. There was nowhere to go. Saw the pressure coming up front that allowed the linebackers to come over the top. It was Jalen Anthony, the senior, that got the push.
2nd and goal from the 5. 21-14 Grimsley. 4A state title game. 3rd quarter. Atkinson rolling to the right with some pressure coming. Off balance throw into the end zone, and it gets through. Touchdown. Flag down. A.J. Roberts has it. It's not going to stand. It's holding against the Rams. Celebration muted. And the lead for the moment still belongs to the Whirlies.
Personal foul. Face mask. Off. Repeat.
That's a big
Second
one.
down.
Rainer Rackley wants an explanation.
Yeah, huge. They threw it on the backside. You see right there on Bryce Davis.
It's Amir Brown, number 2.
They do whatever they can to double team him, try to slow him down, and Big penalty. Take off the touchdown, move the ball back to the 20.
Remember, this was 1st and goal from the 2, a loss of 3 yards, a touchdown pass deleted by an Amir Brown face mask penalty for the running back of the Rams. Still 2nd and goal, but now you're at the 20. Atkinson needs time, and he has it. Head on a swivel. Throws to the right side of the end zone. It goes right through the hands, incomplete. Alford was there in a little crease. Can't believe he dropped it.
And Atkinson has been so accurate. I mean, as he rolls out of the pocket, this is a perfect throw, just not able to connect. I'll tell you, the O-line and Brown up front giving Atkinson time to throw.
We've had a game full of drama in the first 3.5 minutes of this 3rd quarter.
Wow.
3rd and goal.
I mean, this game has been so much fun to watch these players compete and call, and can't wait to see what happens here this drive.
Atkinson, play fake, looking left, in trouble. Now he's going to run. He has some room. He's to the 10. He's to the 5. He doesn't slide. He initiates a hit and goes down to the 5. That is a guy who wanted to tie the state title game on his own.
He's had a special career. We've talked about how good he is throwing the ball. He brings this skill to his team, and just the ability to take off, make it happen, and then the toughness, the physical imposing style that he brings and shows his teammates.
Jay, it is 4th down now, and that 15-yard pickup by Atkinson forces Rackley to make a choice. He went for a field goal in the first half. It got deflected and was missed. He keeps his offense on the field here. 4th and goal, a touchdown would tie it. Atkinson rolls for the Rams, lobs it to the end zone. Nobody there, and the Rams come up dry on 4th down.
Grimsley's defense had the field goal blocked in the first half, and then you bend, but you do not break, and that was huge for the Whirlies to get off the field with no points being given up, and their secondary, excellent coverage, nowhere to go, and they can feel good going over to the sideline knowing they did their job.
It's one of those plays where Atkinson thought Waddell was going to break right. Instead, Waddell cut to the center of the end zone. So now the defense for the Rams on the field. The Whirlies are 95 yards away from the end zone, but Grimsley's still on top by 7. Brannon will hand off, nothing. Let's go downstairs to Madison.
Well, this defense will have to work without Cameron Harrison, who is sidelined and not likely to return for this game. He is still being tended to on that left knee. Also to note, he is in the game now, but Mitchell Summers was on the sideline moments ago, bent over with a trainer, I think having a hard time trying to catch his breath.
There's a look at Harrison, still working on him. Yeah, Summers went out after a hit, grabbed his right elbow. Missed a key next play, but he's back on the field in this next series, and he gets the handoff again. Maybe a little tentative, though. We've seen some explosive runs by Summers, but these last 2 almost for nothing. 3rd down.
Well, it's a good sign that he's back, and you knew he was going to do everything he could to get back on the field and finish this ball game. And 3rd and long coming up here, and we talked about how good he is running the ball. He's also excellent in pass coverage and getting out of the backfield, catching as well, and holding up in blitz pickup. So we'll see how Darryl Brown uses him on this critical down.
And we'll see after that rare blue moon interception by Brandon a moment ago, just his 2nd of the year. 3rd down and 8. He's going to throw from the end zone. He's chased. He's in trouble. Bangs bodies. He's trying to get out of the end zone. Throws it to the sideline. This might be grounding. There is a flag down to the 16-yard line, and now another one comes in where that pass was released. So 2 separate penalties here on this play.
Was there something after the play?
This will be a fairly lengthy huddle. One is in the area of what could be defensive holding. The other seemed to be in the area where Faison Brandon was trying to escape the end zone and throw it away and avoid a safety. Here's the call.
2 fouls, 1 by each team. I got holding on the defense. I got a personal foul. Correct me. I've got intentional grounding. Offense. They offset. Repeat 3.
It's going to stay 3rd down. Offsetting penalties. It was intentional grounding by Brandon. I mean, he's just trying to labyrinth his way out of the end zone. I mean, that would have been a safety had there not been defensive holding earlier in the play.
This pass rush for Rolesville is starting to heat up. For the Whirlies, you have to hold up front, especially when the blitz comes, and Brandon will have to have that internal clock in his head where, all right, a couple seconds, you've got to get rid of it.
Offensive lineman late on in the field for the Whirlies. 3rd down and 7. They need to reach the 15-yard line. Just a little bit of doubt creeping in the minds of the Whirlies. Brandon, some time now, and the pocket collapsing, and Brandon tosses it up for grabs. Caught and dropped. It's incomplete.
Well, I know Grimsley's going to be disappointed they didn't convert, but Brandon just saved his team 2 points because his ability to hang tough in the pocket, get rid of it, this would have been a safety. Watch as he doesn't like, here comes a pass rush swarming, just finds a way to give his team a chance. The ball gets to the ground, but this would have been a safety. So close from Rolesville, continuing to work up front.
Punt from the end zone for Grimsley. And suddenly it is the Whirlies on their heels. And this is a short kick, lands at the 35-yard line and will bounce out of bounds at the 40. Nice work by the punter to handle a low snap. But all of the sudden, all of the momentum belongs to the Rolesville Rams. Coming up at the conclusion of tonight's 4A championship, Jay and I will be selecting the Tatum and Atkinson player of the game. Tatum and Atkinson injured in a car wreck, all the heavy hitters. Rolesville Rams about 40 miles from where we are. Grimsley from Greensboro. Play for the 4A state title. It's 21-14 Grimsley. Atkinson looking for the tie in the first play, and it's broken up and knocked away. It's Cassie Barnes. Good thing he got his hands up because the receiver had him beat.
Barnes, 6'1". See, as those hands by the receiver goes up, gets it right in between just to knock it loose. Really good technique from the junior.
2nd and 10 from the 40-yard line. Boy, this has been an active third quarter with no points. So many pivotal moments. Braden Atkinson throwing again on 2nd down, lofts over the middle, and boy, he had his man, just let him a little bit too far, looking for Jack McHugh, who caught that touchdown pass right before halftime. 3rd down.
And the pass rush from the Whirlies gets to Atkinson. Hit as he threw it. Jaden Warlaw, defensive lineman, getting in the backfield. This field position for Rolesville, you see the hit, there's Warlaw.
And that's a good point, because the growing theme to me has been pressure from the defensive line and linebackers getting in the backfield on both sides in this third quarter. 3rd down, rushing for the Whirlies. A little bit of time, swings it out, and it will get there at the 30-yard line. That's going to be very close, and I believe enough for a 1st down to Gavin Waddell.
And Rolesville max protects, keeps the tight ends and the backs in. It's a 3-man route on the outside. Make sure there's a pocket for Atkinson.
Good look at the arm strength of Braden Atkinson right there. That is not an easy throw to make. They needed 10, they pick up 11. 1st down at the 29-yard line of the Whirlies. on the ground on first down for a couple.
For Rolesville, you've had success through the air. You have to continue to try to run the ball so you can have a balance and keep the defense on their heels. Bernier Rackley has so much trust in Devon Thomas, number 0, the back in the ball game, and we've seen Brown as well. Those two really do a nice job leading the way with the rushing attack.
Some late pressure coming, weaving through. This one's thrown to the middle of the end zone. Diving effort and incomplete. And then sliding into the standard that holds up the goalpost. Once again, looking for Waddell.
On the outside, there's some fun matchups, and the wide receivers and defensive backs are battling. A lot of contact. You see, good thing Waddell's okay here as he slides into the goalpost. So close.
I'm glad that was his shoulder, not his helmet. He showed some great closing speed, attacking that pass, didn't he? I didn't think he was going to get his hands on it. He almost caught it.
A big third down coming up. Bryce Davis, the top of the defensive line, number 12.
Watch McHugh, sets up on the right wing, 3rd and 9. Looks like a hold that is going to be called here. The pass thrown incomplete. It's a clear hold on the right
there
tackle.
It is. Yeah, Bryce Davis.
Number 12, Bryce Davis.
Patrick, he is so flexible, gets low to release underneath the shoulder of the tackle. That's what forced the penalty. Couldn't contain him. 6'4", 255 with speed and toughness.
Offense, 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat
Watch
the down.
12. Just dips, gets low, and easy call from the official.
Will push back the Rams to the 38-yard line. Still creates 3rd down and very long. They need about 19 yards here.
And Rolesville has tried to double team him as much as possible. They're single blocked. It goes in favor of defense, but they've been trying to at least chip him on almost every play.
They overload the right side with 3 receivers. And a timeout taken by Grimsley. 4:25 left, 3rd quarter. The chess pieces are moving around the board here, Jay. Scoreboard has not changed in this 3rd quarter, but there have been a lot of things kind of happening underwater.
And each team here, you're midway through the 3rd quarter, and every play is critical in a state championship game, and the importance for Grimsley with that timeout, even though it's 3rd and long, they use it to make sure, hey, there's no big plays given up. Let's make sure we're all good with the call here and give your defensive line, who's really been coming on strong, a break here to come out here and feel fresh on this 3rd down.
A reminder, stay tuned. At the end of tonight's championship, we will showcase the Carolina Ford dealers drive of the game. With Ford F-150 on your team, it's game on. See your Carolina Ford dealer today. You don't necessarily need all 19 on this play here, Jay. So if you're the offensive coordinator for the Rams, how are you chipping away, maybe getting 8, 9, 10 yards on this 3rd down, knowing you're very likely going 4 on 4?
I think you've got an underneath route as an option here, where you try to get something going vertical over the middle of the field where your receiver can catch it moving forward and just give yourself a chance on 4th down.
Watch McHugh again on that right wing. In these kind of plays, he's been a target. 3rd and 19. Atkinson looks over the middle and led to his wide receiver too far. Late flag, though, comes in. And this is likely going against Grimsley. That was Adrian Silver Jr. Haven't called his name really at all. Haven't seen him on the field very much at all. He was the target right there on 3rd and 19.
It's a deep crossing route. He got tied up in the secondary.
Pass interference. Defense, 15 yards, 3rd down.
It'll be a 15-yard penalty on pass interference, but not an automatic 1st down. So now from 3rd and 19 to 3rd and 4. And we were pretty sure it was going to be 4-down territory anyway.
Yeah.
Definitely 4-down territory now. As a loose footballs into the back of the end zone, noticed by one of the officials. Now a whole lot of options offensively for Rainer Rackley and the Rams. They have never been level in this game outside of kickoff. Four-man rush, pressure up the center. Atkinson improvising, throws on the run to the sideline and has it complete around the 10-yard line. Atkinson bought some time, an off-balance throw, and Jaden Alford tightrope the sideline and brought it home.
And this is an NFL level play from Atkinson. Pass rush right up the middle. As a quarterback, you do not want it coming right in your face. Gets outside, eludes it. You have Bryce Davis coming after you on the run. You got to throw it across the field, and you find your wide receiver for a big pickup.
Second time we've really seen some across the field arm strength by
Patrick.
Atkinson.
That was an amazing throw.
First and goal from the 10. Atkinson will give off. This is Thomas. And Thomas dropped for a loss of 1.
And I'll tell you what, Grimsley has been in this position, bending but not breaking. Darryl Brown's defense has had 2 drives inside the 10 that has resulted in 0 points for the Rams. So yes, they've got a drive going, but this is where this defense gets tough.
And remember, one of those happened earlier in this half. First and goal from the 2 for the Rams. Not only no touchdown, no points. Second and goal. Atkinson a brief forward with Thomas in the backfield. Whirlies are coming with 5. Thomas tries to break through and runs through the defender and picks up about 4. He ran off the left side against Kyrie Milner. Third and goal. Rams still down by 7.
And Joe Rigsby, the defensive coordinator, and Darryl Brown made the right call, bringing the pressure. They guessed right with the run, and Kyrie Milner cleaned it up. And another big one coming up to see if they can get that rush up the middle where they have had the pressure coming from the outside. That need that inside push from the D tackles.
First and goal from the 10, a run. Second and goal from the 11, another run. Third and goal now from the 7. Atkinson will throw. Sideline, incomplete. Tight coverage, no chance to thread that one through for Alford. And it's 4th and goal, and you're down by 7. And the field goal kicking unit, Riley Daniels, summoned.
Now this is the right call here because you have to come away with points and still plenty of game left. Just need to snap, the hold, the kick, the execution to be clean. The rain has stopped the field conditions better after the first quarter.
So Daniels will mark it off. This will be a 24-yard attempt for the lefty, the junior, the star soccer player. High snap, and the boot on the way, and he just sneaks it in. So a 24-yard field goal by Daniels, and this is as close as Rolesville has been since the game's opening score.
And you get points, so for Rolesville, you're happy that you chipped into this lead, a good drive. I'll tell you though, on the other side for Grimsley, 3 drives inside the 10, you've only given up 3 points. So that is a win for Darryl Brown and his unit.
What we haven't seen a lot though, really since about the waning stages of the second quarter, the offense for the Grimsley Whirlies has been sputtering, might be a little bit of a too high of an endorsement.
Well, and they haven't got the ground game going, and there hasn't been those big gains that they had in the first half, and that has limited the play action pass opportunities over the top.
They've gotten some pressure in on Faison Brandon, especially the last couple of, there were 2 plays that last drive where he was fortunate to escape the end zone with the pressure.
Well, the front 7 for Rolesville has really come alive.
So Barnes and Battle are back to return for the Whirlies. And again, when the defense is doing a great job bending but not breaking, the offense is struggling. Special teams for Grimsley all year has been one of their leading units, and they could use a big play here. And this will be returnable from the 4 on the Rowan Law kickoff to the 20 and a little bit beyond that for Battle. So the offensive line comes back onto the field for the Whirlies. Injured Worley on that kickoff. DJ Howerton looking around that left knee. He's in some, appears to be in some good pain. And Jay, you were talking about his year and his future as kind of the next man up on that tight end spot.
And he had the game-winning touchdown catch against Huff, and he is next in line. All the size, the skill, the versatility, and he's a big piece of this offense, and hopefully he'll be able to come back in this game.
A great crew. It has to look, and hopefully this might just be a knee-on-knee for number 9 right there. A little collision. And you can see a little bit of an awkward twist right there of the leg. This is a moment where there's conflict between injury and the magnitude of the game, right? You never want to leave the game, but if it's a state championship game and you have any opportunity to come back, you want to. And a very good sign as Howerton kind of almost sprinted off of the field after he was being checked out. So the helmet is on. That's a bright spot for Grimsley. Good to see. McIver Law Firm scoring summary from that last drive. Look at that, 11 plays for 16 yards, netting the field goal by Daniels. That was a wood-chipping drive, and the defense for the Whirlies held up. Still the lead, 21-17. So first down for Faison Brannon. Quick pass, left flat, juggling. Caught by the man who juggled and lost it to his teammates. That's Battle on the spot after his teammate juggled it through the air, and it looked like it was about to be incomplete.
A strong throw from Brandon. The ball just ricochets into the hands of Battle.
Did it hit the ground, though, Jay?
Close.
They're showing a replay up on the big LED video boards here at Keenan.
Well, it looks like he caught it before it did. The play's going to stand, but still excellent work for Battle.
Rolesville fans booing vociferously. Call stands out to the 42. Summers, again, head down, picks up 3. We'll take one more look and see if the ball kissed the grass or the fingertips got beneath it. What do you think? That's on the ground, isn't it?
It's close.
And they show that
the ball.
The live game is being shown, those replays on the end zone scoreboards. That's why you're hearing the boos from the Rolesville fans. 2nd and 7. Nearing 1 minute for the third in the 4A title game. Summers, only a couple. The defensive line has done a nice job keying on him since that opening drive when he was breaking off big run after big run.
And he's in pain going over the sideline. You can see that shoulder, the arm, that right side is affecting Summers. So tough playing through it.
So Micah Williams is once again in to replace him. There's a look at Mitchell Summers. He's rushed for over 120 yards, but he is, again, trying to fight through some serious injury and pain in this title game. 3rd and 5. Rams show pressure. Now they pull back. Brannon, time. Loads up. Throws for Cato. A leaping effort. And in a double team, it is complete. How did Cato grab it? He got smoked on a hit, held onto the football, high pointed it. Big first down for Grimsley.
One of the best catches of the season. When your team needs it, you got to come through. Cato does it for Grimsley. Through the coverage, multiple guys going for that ball, and what a play, and he is hurt as well.
And that is Cato. Once he landed and caught it, he immediately kind of tapped his chest, sprinted toward his sideline all the way across the other side of the field, didn't make it. And you can see him now with the athletic training staff for the Whirlies. I don't know if the wind got knocked out of him when he landed at the back end of that catch. But he's now up, and he's not going to be up for long, is he? He just outwilled the two defenders here.
3 catches on the night, and there's the fighting for the ball, competing for it.
So there's the catch, and right there is the tap on the chest.
As soon as he secured it, he knew something wasn't right.
He's just trying to get to the sideline.
It's a tough player.
Yeah. At that stage, there needs to be a really quick assessment by the athletic training staff on what they saw, what happened, what he needed, because you just don't know on a play like that what the issue is, but it clearly was something, and fairly significant. And the clock for the third quarter will wind out. You want to talk about players for Grimsley and Rolesville who want nothing more than a state title. That third quarter we just witnessed told you every chapter of the novel. But there's one more sequel to come. Fourth quarter on the way. Grimsley leading Rolesville by 4. 1 quarter left for the 4A championship. "12 minutes away from a 4A title, Jay. Let's take a look at the cumulative stats through 3 quarters.
That's pretty even, and it shows on the scoreboard as well as the stat sheet. Each side even on turnovers. Only 5 yards difference on total yards. It's going to come down to the execution in the fourth quarter.
First down carry for the quarterback, Faison Brandon. He'll pick up about 5. And there is Caden Cato, who just made that exemplary catch and then landed, knew he was injured, ran to the sideline, fell down a bit, got some treatment, came back onto the field, still doesn't look 100%. And some key players for the Whirlies are dealing with some major issues. We'll go downstairs to Madison on that.
Well, guys, Mitchell Summers on the sidelines. His helmet is off, visibly upset. He is still dealing with that right arm pain and seemingly will not return to this game. Coach told us earlier that he is exactly what Whirly football is about, so big loss for them.
Brandon, a couple of pump fakes, finds a seam down the sideline, and he's marked down to the 6. Just stepped out. It will be a first down for Grimsley. And the Whirlies now knocking on the door.
When he breaks out of the pocket, he can create damage with his legs. 6'5", 210 pounds. You see him go out of bounds. He is elusive and a threat in every part of his game.
They mark him back at the 9-yard line, stepping out. Good call inside the OneCare NC red zone. OneCare NC assisting clients' health requirements and treatments at home. Grimsley, 1 state title back in the COVID year of 2020 and 2021. Rolesville has never won a title. They've only played for 1. Timeout by Grimsley. Early state is fourth quarter. Whirly's up 4 and inside the 10 with a 1st and goal when we return to Chapel Hill. First and goal for the Grimsley Whirlies, leading Rolesville 21-17. Early stages of this fourth quarter. Ball at the 9-yard line. Faison Brandon calls his own number for a third straight time, angling down inside the 5. Well, with Summers maybe out of the game for the rest of this championship, Cato went down with an injury a moment ago. We haven't seen back-to-back runs by Brandon all night. He's carried it 3 straight times.
And you just feel so bad for Summers. He wants to be out there. And for Brandon, he's got to put this rushing attack on his shoulders and does what he can, falling forward, finishing off the run.
Ran for nearly 600 over the course of the year leading into tonight. Second and goal. Again, when Grimsley has been in position to score on the ground all year, it has been Summers almost exclusively. And this is Williams forging ahead inside the 1.
And up front for the Whirlies, Nick Kashibara, TJ Bunch, Brock Weston, Neil Johnson, Makai Norwood. Darryl Brown talked about that group, how they played so well throughout the year, and how tonight was going to come down to line play. The O-line and the D-line versus your opponent. This is a big spot up front for this group.
From the 1. Third and goal. The lead is 4 for Grimsley. Brandon keeps, dives, and scores for the Whirlies. Nine minutes and 45 seconds away from a state title. The Whirlies build the lead back to double digits.
The execution from Brandon, the zone read, makes a man miss. The O-line does their job. And that's the toughness from this group. And Darryl Brown very pleased as the offense comes over to the sideline, finishing it off and stretching out the lead.
(28-17) Grimsley. And with Summers, who has 46 rushing touchdowns this year, on the sideline with a towel covering his eyes in pain and in despair. It was Faison Brandon, 4 carries out of the last 5 plays for the arguably #1 high school football collegiate prospect in the 2026 class. There's a scoring summary. 9 plays capped off by Brandon.
It was an efficient drive with the 9 plays. They mixed in the run and the pass, especially inside the 20. They relied on the ground game to get them across the goal line. For Rolesville, Rennie Rackley, all right, down 11, still have plenty of time. Your offense has shown a lot with the big plays through the air. So and for them, all right, it's time to go to work, and you got confidence that your offense can move the ball quickly.
A little less margin, though, just because you know you don't have 5 possessions left to recover an 11-point deficit. Joe Mansell will kick off here for the Grimsley Whirlies. Rowan Law, we fight and have the verdicts to prove it. Retrieved to the 5-yard line. Rams scrambling on this return, and a punishing hit around the 21. Big hit made by Cassius Bostic. So Turner's return officially to the 21-yard line. That's where Braden Atkinson and the Rams will start, with 9:37 on the clock and 3 timeouts. There's a look at Caden Cato. No helmet for him either after that big reception he made where he tried to run off the field. First down carry for Brown, about 5, maybe 6.
Key injuries on their side. And for these guys that have had special years, you know how bad they want to be out on the field.
And for Summers, he's a senior. Cato is a junior. Atkinson on second down, swings it to the outside. Nice move by Alford after the catch. Wrestled down around the 43.
Rolesville playing with tempo. Quick pass to the outside and let your talented wide receiver get yards after the catch.
Felt like the clock hasn't really moved at all in the second half. But right now, the Whirlies just content to keep everything in front of them and force Rolesville to burn up a lot of plays and some clock along the way. Trouble here for Atkinson. He's brought down, sacked a couple of times in the first half. It's kind of a coverage sack. The capstone by Jalen Anthony, number 90.
The defense has had the most success when there's been pressure up front. You see the pocket just collapse and Anthony finishes it off, and not only do you get the sack, but now it slows down the pace for Rolesville.
Loss of 4 on that sack, second down. Atkinson goes to the sideline. I saw by Alford to come back now, and he almost lost it as he was being spun forward. Did maintain control, and he's very close to a first down. I think he's a little bit short.
There's max protection on Bryce Davis. There's Brown and McHugh, 2 guys trying to slow him down, and they're respecting the pass rush of the D-line.
It is 3rd and short. Under 8 minutes now in regulation. 11-point lead for Grimsley. Officials converging gives E.J. Davis an opportunity to come onto the field for Grimsley.
Wouldn't be surprised if this is a run on 3rd and short.
Samir Brown lined up behind Atkinson. Clock is still stopped, and the officials, 3 of them anyway, are getting together one more time. And now we will get an officials stoppage of the clock. I don't know if this is a game clock issue, a ball spotting issue. See Carl Berger going over to the official on the far side of the field, who basically was responsible for lining up where that football was placed. And now he's relaying whatever the issue is to Darryl Brown. Jay, what do you think?
I'll tell you what, I'm not sure on this one.
I don't know if we're going to get any explanation either, are we?
It looks like they're going over to both sidelines. Rainier Rackley's getting the word, and looks like we're
no adjustments.
Back to play.
Nothing clockwise. They didn't move the football. 3rd down and 1. And away we go again. Atkinson will give it off. And this is Brown, and Brown hustles straight ahead. Down inside the 40-yard line. And that will be plenty for a first down. And now Brown a little slow to get up.
This was a big pickup. The interior of the offensive line. McHugh, the tight end, number 30, with the key block right up the middle, leading the way. And Brown finishes it off. He's walking off the field now, a good sign. And now Rolesville, with the clock stopped, going to readjust here and would expect them to go back through the air.
I think it was that second hit into the outside of the right leg of Brown that sends him to the sidelines. You see the numbers on Atkinson. Sub 50% when he's averaged 70% completion percentage over the course of the year. First down. Deep down the middle and through the hands, incomplete. A.J. Roberts in stride. That's a touchdown if he brings it home.
Atkinson has been throwing the ball deep tonight. There's been a couple that could have been caught, and this one they wanted. And I'll tell you, the Whirlies, though, in position for a potential hit there, and defender trailing, the safety coming over the top.
think right off of that release, Atkinson thought that was where it needed to be. He'll try again through the air, left side, and caught for a first down to about the 28-yard line. That's Waddell with another reception.
I mean, he has such a strong arm. He's thrown this across the field. Watch the double team on Bryce Davis, McHugh and Brown. Again, that is a difficult throw. He gets it there, perfect accuracy and on time.
From the 28, new set of downs. Rolesville down 11, pressure from the blind side. Atkinson feels it, cuts around a man and can't quite escape. Kyrie Milner, the tackle on Atkinson. Coming up on 6.5 minutes for the fourth quarter. But this is the kind of drive that Grimsley, you didn't necessarily want to yield it, but this is the type of drive you're willing to accept. A lot of plays, a lot of time off the clock.
Keep the ball in front.
Second down. Throw into the front pylon. Some contact, some jousting, but no penalty. Incomplete.
When on the outside, the wide receivers and defensive backs, physical. The referees are letting them play. This is a state championship game. That's what you want. You just want an opportunity to kind of know how it's going to be called and then be competitive. And 3rd and 9 coming up. Of course, you need a touchdown on this drive. The biggest thing is you have to have points and at least make it a one-score game.
Yeah, the other thing to keep in mind, Riley Daniels, we talked a lot about his long range and big leg. A field goal would still give you an opportunity with a touchdown and 2. But right now it's about a 44-yarder. 3rd down. Pressure from the back and another sack for Grimsley. Jaden Wardlow takes down Atkinson. It's 4th down, and now they're back at the 35-yard line.
Wardlaw is relentless. Number 8 just keeps working, keeps going, gets low underneath the tackle. See on the left side of the screen, there he is, then just flashes. And now Rolesville will have to go for it here, and what a play.
Such a timely sack by Wardlow because that factors the left leg of Riley Daniels out of the equation. So the Rams will now be forced to go. They will call a timeout. If they're considering a field goal try, this would be 52 yards and you would have to make it. So a decision here for the Rams. They need to pick off their best 4th down and long play because their season hangs in the balance. Well, the hopes for Rolesville's first ever state football championship hang in the balance here by a thread. 4th and 17, trailing by 11. A sack has just taken them out of field goal range. So the Rams will go. They need the 18-yard line. Atkinson stepping up, loading. It's tipped as he was releasing. The pressure gets there. And the Grimsley Whirlies celebrating on the sideline and in the crowd. And another promising drive for Rolesville ends up at a 0.
The pass rush getting home. And you see those guys up front working that quick first step. There's a double team on Bryce Davis. Watch 12. Doesn't give up, Patrick. Just keeps going. And in order to be an excellent rusher, of course you have to have the talent, but it's also about your motor and how bad do you want it. And Davis comes away with it for his team, and it just shows you how much he cares. You see it by the way he plays.
Bryce Davis just beat that double team like they were kindergartners.
1st down.
I mean, it's almost as if the double team didn't exist. He was so determined and resolute. And then got to the quarterback after the pressure initially took him back behind where Atkinson was.
He just doesn't stop.
So another 4th down stop for the Whirlies. They take over with 5:10 left. Rolesville 2 timeouts and still 2 scores in arrears of the Whirlies. And now you would expect the ball to stay in Faison Brannon's hands a lot the rest of the way, and right on cue. He will stay inbound. Smart play right there. He did not want to take that one out of bounds. That wins them 30 more seconds.
That was wise. He just fell down. He did it on purpose to stay in and let the time continue to expire. And I wouldn't put the ball in the air at all.
And again, if you had Mitchell Summers available, and again, he went out earlier in the second half with an injury, and we will not see him, we'd see the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
But now that he is out, it will be in Faison Brannon's hands. Micah Williams sets to his right. And now Brannon looking to throw. He will throw. High arcing pass, and what a grab brought in by Hudson Cooper. Spins away, sprints to the Carolina end zone, and there's the punctuation of a state title, soon to be on the way to Greensboro.
We thought they were going to keep it on the ground, but they saw the coverage on the outside, liked their chances with Cooper, and he comes away with a great catch, and then the finish getting into the end zone, and Brandon lofts it up for his wide receiver. Accurate, hit him right in stride, and that was a big play call to throw it, and then they executed to make it happen and stretch out this lead, 18 points.
63-yard touchdown reception for the junior Hudson Cooper. A catch he will never, ever forget. Meg Brown, Home Furniture, just off I-40 in Bermuda Run. There is the scoring drive, presented by MacIver Law Firm. CYA, call your attorney, Roderick T. McCarver. 2 plays, 65 yards. After the defensive stop once again, led by Bryce Davis. And Hudson Cooper with his 6th touchdown reception of the year. Jay, coming into this game, he had 14 catches for almost 500 yards. Every time he catches the football, it's a play like that for the Whirlies. He's averaging about 33 yards a reception. More than double of what Cato, their top target, averages. So he is as big of a big play receiver as the Whirlies can offer.
He had a huge ball game against Rolesville earlier on in the season, over 200 yards in that ball game. He was out with some injuries. He's back, and what a time to score here at Kenan Stadium. But in that ball game, he was kind of the mismatch at Rolesville, and now here tonight, one-on-one on the outside, and he wins.
In about 60 years' time, he's going to be in a rocking chair on his front porch talking to his grandkids about the catch that he made in the 4A state title game for the Grimsley Whirlies. And the fans are going to remember that one for a long time as well. They are ready to blow the lid off this place in 4 minutes and 11 seconds. Rams down 18. And you know, the players, the coaching staff calculating their heads. How do we get 18 points back in 4 minutes? The odds are not forever in their favor, but they will not quit until the officials say the game's over. Atkinson needs to make it happen quickly. He's trying to, deep into triple coverage. It's intercepted by Grimsley. And the Whirlies, Ryan DeBow racing to space. And that will be the caulk on the windowsill for the Whirlies. They have sealed up the 4A state title. What a game Debo has had. Flag down at around the 45-yard line. I think this is for excessive celebration on Grimsley because 50 of their players were on the field of play celebrating not just the pick, but the imminent state title. And there you see the turnover chain for the Whirlies. Proudly around the neck of Ryan Debo.
After the interception, dead ball, unsportsmanlike, black, 15 yards, headed to the end of the run.
Well,
First
it was
down.
unsportsmanlike conduct, but it was not on Grimsley. It goes on the Rolesville Rams. All that was a hopeful heave when you're down by 18 in the waning minutes of the fourth quarter for the state title.
And you have to be aggressive. And Debo, you're right, though, with the interception. He's been all over the field making plays and run support, too. He's been a valuable piece of this defense.
7 tackles, second pick of the game. Not a lot of seniors on this Whirly team. Debo is one of them. Handoff on first down with below 4 minutes to play. Rolesville 2 timeouts left. I'd be surprised if the Rams use any. Brandon taking down the play clock to the final ticks. Williams for a couple. And Jay, this is where these games, at these moments, in these championships, you get to the final moments, it settles in. The reality of the win, the reality of the loss. And this is where coaching comes to a different level, to remind your players all of that they have accomplished. And that's going to be hard to hear for the Rolesville Rams. But they knew the task was going to be tall. They saw this Grimsley squad in week 2. Just found themselves kind of in a tough spot about halfway through that first quarter. Did well to get back in it. Had a couple of first and goal opportunities to try and tie the game. Couldn't dial up the right plays, and the defense for the Whirlies. That was a championship defensive stop we saw a couple of times this second half.
I think Darryl Brown and Rainier Rackley, first of all, so proud of each team. And for the Whirlies and Darryl Brown, the difference really was those stops by their defense inside the 10, only giving up 3 points, and then getting the pass rush in big moments. Rolesville had a lot of big explosive plays tonight. When they had to have a stop, though, they relied on their defensive line, and Bryce Davis was among many others that got a pass rush. And for them, this is going to be a complete team win. They had special teams plays in the first half, the block field goal and the key return. And over on the other side, Rolesville has had a special season too.
1:41 left in the fourth quarter. Grimsley calls time right before the play clock winds down. Now let's get to our drive of the game, brought to you by the Carolina Ford dealers. And here it is, Jay. 9 plays, 79 yards, capped off by the Mason Brandon 1-yard touchdown run.
This is what made the game an 11-point lead, and that Cato catch was huge, and it started off, with that ball ricocheting, and then here Brandon using his legs with Summers out, said, all right, I'm going to take it myself. Back-to-back runs, finishes it off in the end zone, and the offensive line getting the push up front, and that was the drive that really made it difficult for Rolesville, put the pressure on them and forced them to be aggressive throwing the ball. And that drive, though, when they had to have it, they got it, and they relied on their passing game and their running game, just the balance that they played with throughout the year.
And that, ironically, would be the last moment of visibility for Caden Cato. And what an exit he made after that catch. The injury at the end of that catch forced him out for the rest of the night, but man, oh man, was that a big one. Some extracurriculars here on 4th down where the Grimsley Whirlies are just conceding here, and the Rolesville Rams seem to make a hard last tackle. I think it was on Faison Brannon, and the Whirlies unhappy with that because they have been slow walking this one to the end here over the last few plays, taking umbrage with what they may have seen. A lot of whistles, no flags. And now 1:35 remaining. Now let's get to our Tatum and Atkinson player of the game. Brought to you by Tatum and Atkinson. Injured in a car wreck, call the heavy hitters. A lot of options. And it is going to be awarded to Grimsley's Bryce Davis, who was all over the field as the unstoppable defensive end.
I'm just impressed with how hard he plays and the production that he brings to any game he plays, sacking the quarterback, affecting the pocket. And there you see his teammates, how they love the passion that he plays with, and really is a leader for this whole program. And he'll be enrolling at Duke in January, and he's going to be a star at the college level.
I mean, he made some big plays, and then he made his best and most elite plays when the game was on the line. That's what the Stars do. And a sack of Atkinson, and there he is one more time. One more time, why not? He likes playing on this field. He'll be playing a lot on this field against the Tar Heels.
He will be.
And I wonder if Bill Belichick is watching from his new office here at Keenan. That guy's going to be in Durham?
Well, he's gonna have to find some tackles and some tight ends that want to block him. Coach Darryl Brown talked with us about Bryce Davis and talked about how hard he plays and how he's a leader and his talent. And he finished it off by saying he finishes. And we've seen him tonight finish and provide big plays for his team.
Well, for the Grimsley Whirlies, motivated over the last 12 months because of a loss to Weddington last year in the regional final. Weddington then went on to win the state championship the following week. They lost a lot, but they had a lot of guys ready to go from the sophomore ranks. And most of this Whirly squad, at least the skill players, most of them are juniors. That includes Faison Brannon. That includes Michael Williams. That includes Cato, Battle, Howardson, Cooper, who just made that 360-degree touchdown reception earlier in this 4th quarter. And there are a lot of junior returners defensively. So I know we say this generally most years that we could see this team back next year. I firmly believe that is a strong, strong possibility for this Grimsley Whirly squad next year.
They've got the talent and they'll have the experience from this game and motivation with the success of this year, wanting to get back and taste it again next year.
Atkinson swings out, Alford. 1:10 to go in this 4A title game, 35-17, a game closer than the score indicates. Grimsley beat Rolesville 35-20 in week 2.
And for Braden Atkinson, he'll be at Mercer. And going in January, he has had a special career and been the catalyst for the Rams. And I expect them to be loaded next year. They're losing a lot of key players, and Atkinson is at the top of that list. Guys have really meant so much to the program.
Atkinson's sideline pattern. It's interesting that Atkinson will also be down there at Mercer with Gavin Marks, his center here, who, again, we talked about his being diagnosed with cancer only a few weeks ago.
And planning on being roommates as well. So they'll be able to continue their career together. And this is a team for Rainier Rackley that I expect them to be excellent next year and have high hopes to get back in this ball game. They've got talented underclassmen. There's a lot of seniors, though, that mean a lot to him.
Catch made around the 23-yard line. That's Waddell. Waddell, a junior. A.J. Roberts, we saw him with a couple of catches. Samir Brown, those two are sophomores. quarterback position is going to be one to fill for the Rolesville Rams next year. Both Atkinson and Mason Horn, his backup, are seniors. But a remarkable job for Rainer Rackley in his first 2 years here. 26-4, and a state runner-up trophy is coming back to Rolesville here in 2024.
And his players love playing for him, and what he does for his players on the field and off the field, and how he truly cares about them. And there's just a spirit to this program where the players, the coaches, the school, the community are all in it together.
And the players check in on him as well. He said he gets a lot of text messages from his guys over the course of a year, just checking in, Coach, how you doing?
And there is true relationships that he has with those players, and these guys look up to him, and it is a true bond and a family, and for them, when you get to this point, a lot of emotions. They're going to be so proud of their season, and they'll use this as motivation in the future. But these guys have a bond and memories that they'll remember, forever, and be able to look back on this and just think about all the special times they had together.
I think we'll see a lot of text messages flying back and forth from the Rolesville players to the Rolesville head coach over the next few hours to few days. What a year. And it will fall short to Grimsley. Final 30 seconds of the 4A title game. Incomplete. Thrown into the end zone in the corner.
Atkinson showed so much toughness tonight, and over 200 yards. And, to talk about his career, his leadership, what he's meant. He's just a special player and person.
I mean, he's going to be just short of 4,000 passing yards this year. Pressure from the backside one more time, and down he goes. Rams out of timeouts. Warlaw chases down Atkinson one more time. The Gatorade dump has just taken place against Darrell Brown, and the clock will tick out. The Rams will not get the play off. Thought I heard a whistle. It's thrown in the corner of the end zone, and it is a touchdown. But the clock has hit 000, and the Grimsley Whirlies are your 4A state champions. But with the touchdown here, Jay, they're going to allow the extra point try here by Riley Daniels.
For Rolesville, just playing through it, you score, you finish this ball game off the right way for this offense, and there's Atkinson just fighting through the pressure. Keep your eyes up, nice throw to the outside.
Or for your last high school pass, pretty good.
So over to Gavin Waddell, and
I didn't think they got the playoff, to be honest. But it is now over, and a slightly delayed championship celebration for the Grimsley Whirlies, and head coach Darrell Brown begins. Your 2024 4A North Carolina football champions.
Patrick cap off an undefeated season. You see Darrell Brown, Rainier Rackley, the respect they had. They talked with us this week about how much they look at each program and say, hey, they're doing it the right way. They respect each other. And you see the embrace there by the two coaches who have had special seasons. And for Grimsley, congratulations. This was a tough game. Went through the playoffs, and you had adversity, and they found a way each time to come through. And I know Darrell Brown, what a job he has done to get his team the state championship trophy. And this is a group that showed it all tonight, Patrick. How hard they played, their execution, fighting through adversity. This was a fun game to call.
This is now a machine, a high school football machine. I mean, you put it on the ranks of Independence, of Tarboro. 78-4 in their last 82 games. And the second state title coming back to Greensboro and Grimsley High School. Bryce Davis, number 12, an enormous state title game.
He was huge tonight. You could see the coaches talking to him, everybody coming over to him because they know what type of player he is.
I mean, there are so many elite high school and soon to be, as you mentioned in the open, major college players, NFL players on this field. I don't know that anybody was better to me on the field today of all of these great players than number 12 right there, Bryce Davis.
And they turn off the lights here for the celebration, but you're right. So many players that we'll see playing on Saturdays in college, and I truly believe, you look at the talent out there, there's going to be guys that have NFL futures coming up in the next few years.
All right, so let's go downstairs to Madison, who has the championship head coach of the Grimsley Whirlies, Daryl Brown.
All right, Coach, the Grimsley Whirlies 4A state champions. What does that sound like to you?
I'm just super proud of our guys. I mean, man, what a tough game. And had a lot of guys that got banged up through the course of that thing, and they just showed the grit and toughness and everything that we believe in. And couldn't be more proud of them.
And you talked a lot throughout the season about the togetherness of this team. How does this win demonstrate that?
Well, you saw it. It was different people all the time. You know, to me, the best running back in the state, Mitchell Summers, goes down, and our guys just find a way, you know, and just says a lot just about their heart, their character, their belief, who they are as people. And we talk all the time that as a team, we don't feel like anybody's any better, and our guys showed that togetherness tonight.
Well, you guys, the best in the state, what does this group of seniors mean to you, and what does it mean to be able to do this with them?
Well, I mean, we got a special group of seniors. I'm super proud of them. A lot of them guys waited their turn and just continued to work, and they wanted to kind of show everybody who they were, and I think they did that tonight.
Well, congratulations, Coach.
I appreciate it.
Back to you guys.
All right, it is a championship Chapel Hill night for the Grimsley Whirlies. Grimsley defeating the Rolesville Rams to win the 4A state title. Trophy presentation from Keenan Stadium next. 4A state title to the Grimsley Whirlies. 35-23 over the Rolesville Rams, and the state trophy presentation ceremony has just begun. The Commissioner, Q Tucker, with the runner-up trophy to the Rolesville Rams. Let's join them down at midfield.
At this time, we recognize Coach Rackley from the state runner-up Rolesville Rams. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in a round of applause for Rolesville, an outstanding season. They are to be commended for their achievements here in the 2024 football season. Congratulations to this year's state runner-up, the Rolesville Rams. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we introduce to you the 2024 North Carolina High School Athletic Association Class 4A state champions, the Grimsley Whirlies. At this time, we recognize head coach Daryl Brown of the state champions from Grimsley to come forward and receive a special plaque of recognition.
Probably a shoulder, right?
Members of the state champions will also be receiving special commemorative t-shirts. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the 2024 Class 4A football state champions, the Whirlies of Grimsley High School. We are also pleased to honor several outstanding individual performances in this championship game. The awards are sponsored by the Carolina Panthers. First for the state runner-up, the outstanding defensive player of the game in this championship, selected by media representatives. From Rolesville, number 3, Xavier Lewis. Outstanding Offensive Player Award for Rolesville, number 11, Braden Atkinson. For our MVP awards for the state champions. The outstanding defensive player in this championship, once again selected by media representatives. From Grimsley, number 12, Bryce Davis. The Outstanding Offensive Player Award goes to number 22, Mitchell Summers. Ladies and gentlemen, there were many outstanding individual performances in tonight's state championship. However, one stood out. This individual was selected by a panel of media covering tonight's game as the championship's most valuable player. The MVP for the Class 4A football state championship from Grimsley, quarterback number 11, Faison Brandon. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for both teams in tonight's 4A state championship game. Congratulations to the runner-up, Rolesville Rams, and your 2024 4A football state champs, the Whirlies of Grimsley.
Trophy presentation complete, and the Grimsley Whirlies for the second time in school history claiming the state football championship here at 4A. Jason, final thoughts?
Yeah. Excellent ball game, and for Rolesville, great year and so many special memories that they'll take away, and they'll use this as motivation. And right now, disappointed, but they'll come back from this, and they're a tight group. This is a year that You know, they fought through adversity, and a lot of things happened off the field that they've battled through. And you know, there's a tight group down on the sideline, but they'll be back. And for Grimsley, what a year, undefeated, and they cap it off with a state championship here at Kenan Stadium. And this group fought through adversity. There's motivation from last year coming up short, and they used it in off-season workouts throughout the year. Tough playoff run. A couple games where they're behind at half. In tonight, they just let it all out, and you saw the offense, defense, and special teams all work together. Darryl Brown, what a job by him and his staff coming away with the state championship. And you see all the joy, all the passion. This is the best. High school football is the best. We talk about these guys going to play at college, in the NFL. These are the best memories. This is the most fun you'll ever have. This moment right now, sharing it together, and they're going to remember this forever, and they'll have a chance next year to be back in this ball game, but they're going to share it with their fans, their community, and each other.
A memorable moment for all things Whirlies. 35-23 the final, Grimsley over Rolesville. That's going to wrap things up for the 4A state title. Yet the celebration just beginning. All of us like to take a minute to thank the wonderful folks in the North Carolina High School Athletic Association for these broadcasts, and to our broadcast sponsors. They are Tatum and Atkinson, the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services, Carolina Ford Dealers, Hamricks, Meg Brown Home Furnishings, MacIver Law, One Care NC, Roan Law, and Ingles Markets. All these sponsor partners, through their contributions to the program, make these championship games possible for all of our viewers at home. Again, your final score in the 4A state title game: Grimsley 35, Rolesville 23. The 1A, 2A, 3A title games tomorrow from Carter Finley, and the 2A game right here from Kenan. Jay and I and Madison will be with you for that tomorrow night. Once again, your final score: Grimsley 35, Rolesville 23. The Whirlies, the 2024 4A state champs. Enjoy your weekend. Good night from Chapel Hill.